Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon muser this evening. Tonight, we're continuing on with session 20 of our ongoing campaign, playing Paizo Publishing's very cool Pathfinder 2nd Edition, set in Greg Gillespie's very awesome Barrow Maze Complete. And with me tonight are the stars of the Barrow Maze campaign. I'll go in the order that I have you guys here from left to right. Why don't you tell us who you are and who you're playing tonight? So first up is Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen. I am playing Angus. Angus is a wizard from Clantier who carries a bastard sword, and he's still level 1, so he's kind of squishy.
Excellent. And next up is, making his triumphant return from his vacation, is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and surprisingly, today I'm going to be playing someone new. His name is Oberon, and he is a dwarven cleric. Or nope, sorry, druid. Something we might be used to seeing around here.
Yeah.
And tonight I'm going to be drinking some Woodford Reserve.
Wow, very cool. Next up is Jonathan.
Hey everybody, Jonathan playing Zuko, the fire-loving goblin, soon-to-be bard. Try not to die as usual.
And next up is George.
Hey, I'm George. I'm playing Bargo the Infamous, who is a human criminal wizard on the run from a lot of bounty hunters, and he is very nervous to enter Bog Town, so we shall see what happens.
Yes. And last but not least is the man, the myth, the legend, Steve-O!
It is I, playing, of course, none other than Werben Silverstone, the gruff Dwarven Storm Druid, and I am drinking J.P. Wise's Deluxe.
Nice. Did you just crack that bottle too?
I cracked it last night with my 3 music school roommates who are good company.
Yeah. Nice. All right. So then tonight we're going to be focusing on what's going on in Bog Town. Regular viewers may be aware that we have a bifurcated party right now, where we've got part of the party is in Helix, and then some of them are in Bog Town as well. So I got to move the token for Party 1 over there. Last session we saw the heroes, we picked up from when the heroes arrived in Bog Town. Who wants to do a quick recap of what happened last time?
I would normally do it, but I was not there.
There's a hero point in it for you.
I will volunteer then.
Okay.
So our intrepid heroes made their way to Bog Town after a close shave with an hour bell and a dead pony. Bargo displayed some hesitancy and fear and ran off and said, "Well, I'll meet you later." So before we headed into Bog Town.
What we said, George, was that you guys were all going in, and Bargo was starting to kind of like freak out a little bit, and then Buka caught up to you guys. He's like, "Hey, Bargo!" and you were like, "Huh!" and ran off into the woods.
Nice. Okay.
I can only assume that Warben, who was with us when we rescued Angus, he walked off into the woods, but shortly before we got there, because I don't remember seeing him.
So what?
And then,
okay, go ahead.
The 3 of us, Zuko, Angus, and Buka.
Yep.
We went into town to kind of explore and see what we could find out. Ended up going to a tavern. Zuko made some fast friends with some dwarves. Angus got his money stolen. Buka tried to steal and almost got into a fight. And we ended up, me and Angus, in a common room sleeping. And Buka, we haven't seen him, but I hear tales of love interest and being trapped.
Yes. Okay.
And then the next morning.
So,
we are.
what has happened in the interim, just to fill in some stuff here. First off, for Werben, what you did during that day is, you may recall, Steve, that Werben has been sort of in the off-camera moments in Chapter 1 of this campaign. He had been exploring what was going on in the Blackened Forest, right? You had heard about this strange dream that had gone on, that Skurg had experienced, where he saw some massive dragon. And he also had encountered some kind of corrupted or degenerate druid who had definitely not been on the side of of like growth and vibrancy. It was a rot druid of some kind. You also heard about another, or perhaps the same rot druid riding a massive wyvern that some of your other allies had faced. And in the interim, you've heard that there's been a bit of a schism in the circle of druids that kind of populate or normally shepherd the area that is the Duchy of Eric. Now hearing about the dream that Sir Albus had, no, that's not right, Sir Yvain had, with respect to the oncoming kind of frogling hordes, and you have taken upon yourself to try and get some allies. So where you disappeared is there was another druid that you are aware of. Now, give me a sec here, guys. We'll do what we've been doing the last little while and taking advantage of Pickpocket Press's very cool low fantasy gaming, and we'll roll a random connection. I'm just trying to see where the heck I put it. Where did I put it? It might be in the other room. Give me a sec here. I'll be right back, guys.
The books have spilled into another room now.
It's seriously. This is what you would call like cause for an intervention, but good lord, it's not in here. Is it? No. I'll be right back.
I'm sure we could have had Kevin committed a long time ago, but he's far too much fun.
George, this book is expensive.
Oh, can you not find a cheap version of it?
Well, it's out of print.
It's out of print, but Barnes & Noble reprinted it like a few years ago, and they were selling them for $5 a piece. But the first copy I got was $100. So yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I'll find
look
a copy.
around. I'll look, and I'll also look to see if I can find a cheap copy for you.
So it's not. I have no earthly idea where I put it at this point.
You have the PDF, Kev? Because
I do. Actually, I do on this computer too. This year, this is my third fucking laptop this year because I've had 2 die on me so far.
Wow.
Yeah. Turns out it's not good to put coffee in it, so...
Oh!
No.
Gonna make a note of that.
Yeah, really. Write that shit down. I do... Where are you, Low Fantasy Gaming? I don't know where it is. Is it in the stack here? No. Where are you? It's succeeding in its stealth check. Haha! Found it.
Nice.
Hey! Alright. So, Jeffrey, would you kindly give me a D20 roll, please?
Absolutely. Oops.
And this is what we're using. This is actually what I'll be running for our open table session this month as well. 12, okay. Siblings or cousins, adopted or otherwise. So Werben and Oberon, you guys...
They're both dwarves, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, they're both dwarves, so that makes, that works, and possibly, it says, possibly with an evil, bankrupt, sick, missing, or filthy rich parent or other close relative. So, Jeff, why don't you tell us a little, this is a new character for this campaign, so why don't you tell us a little bit about Oberon?
Okay, Oberon is, he was born an albino, and he ended up sort of being cast out by the dwarves that he lived with, and so he ended up living in the wilderness and sort of becoming a bit of a wild druid, which is how he became to be a druid. He, due to being cast off, he sort of cast off his dwarvenness, and so he actually keeps his beard cut short and he keeps his hair cut short. So unlike other dwarves, he's short-haired and not completely. He doesn't keep it shaved, but it's he trims it with a knife kind of thing. So it's kind of messy and done himself.
Yeah.
He's lived most of his life as a nomad, so he travels around, and he's ended up here in the Barrow Maze because Werben. What did you say? We're cousins?
Yeah, so you guys are both from the Moon Peaks then. We know that Werben is from one of the clans that lives in the Moon Peaks, and it seems you guys may have actually been clanmates then.
Yeah, so because of that, he was
Maybe that's why he doesn't have a...
invited by Werben to come help him investigate some of the issues that have been going on here. So.
I think it's because of the level disparity. I think it's more likely the reverse. That Werben has called on you. You've been living as a nomad. You've been kind of doing your, like, coming to terms with your the druid skills that you've learned thus far. And that's where Werben, why he wasn't at the last sessions, because he's gone off to try and bring you in, to try and help out here.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, he called me to...
Oh, sorry, I misheard that. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Okay, so... Yeah, okay, great. So then that's... why don't we talk, guys? Let's do a little bit of role-playing and see what this scene looked like as Werben comes upon Oberon. So knowing that Oberon kind of is living probably in the Moorwash forest there, like the forested areas north of Bog Town. So think of like a boggier kind of, it's not quite a swamp or marsh, but it's a quite moist environment that you're in there. What are Oberon, or what was Oberon's living circumstances? Is it kind of, like a ramshackle, like a lean-to or a cabin or something like that?
Yeah, probably some kind of a cabin that he's, wouldn't even be a cabin. It wouldn't be so set. It would be like a lean-to or something that he's built himself.
Sure. Okay. So he's, Oberon's in there and he's making his meal. Your druidic skills haven't developed to the point where you can actually support yourself just with magic alone. So you're relying on your trapping and your, whatever skills. So it probably looks an awful lot like a camping site, like a rough camping, kind of campsite. And Werben, how do you make your appearance into this scene?
Let's see here. Do I come in with my cousin? Do we come in together? Or
No. You're coming into the scene with Oberon. We're seeing how you guys met.
Oh, okay. Oh well, we know each other from way back. We're cousins, right? We grew up in the same.
Right, and what we're looking for is when Werben makes his appearance at Oberon's camp, what do we see?
Right, Oberon, the shadows slowly part as there are sort of small sort of electrical sparks, flicking between branches, and out emerges none other than Werben Silverstone, and who says nothing but grins in his famously menacing way as he sees his cousin in the camp.
Okay. So how does Oberon react to that?
I guess, probably Werben is one of the only dwarves that he's still friends with, so he's probably very happy to see him. He's probably overjoyed. Cousin Werben! And he'll run over and give him a hearty hug.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then what happens?
Good to see you. So this
Good
trouble...
Good to see you too, my old friend. Yeah, I'm so glad you could join us. There's much work to be done. We need you.
Yes, of course. That's why I'm here.
Yes, I know. Too bad there aren't more of us. But between you and me, and our friends here, we should be able to handle it.
I hope so. I hope I can be of assistance.
Okay. So you guys...
my axe is ready, and he pulls out his axe.
Okay. So I think what we'll do then is you guys, we can see you guys sitting down to to have a meal. Oberon, Jack, can I get you to change your display name to Oberon as well?
Oh yeah, right.
Sorry, just because I'm keep wanting to call you Badonk. And I apparently have the memory of a housefly, so it requires constant reinforcement. We see Werben and Oberon sitting down to kind of enjoy a meal. And let's cut now to Bargo. So we sort of, as they're sitting down, we hear this kind of sound of labored breathing and the kind of breaking of twigs as someone's running through forest. And this is, of course, once we get a clear shot of it, the person kind of stops against a tree and looks back to see if he's being pursued by anyone. It's Bargo. So, George, what does Bargo's mind go to when he heard his name called out as they were making their way into Bog Town?
He immediately thought it was Shadow Hands. And he just has sort of an impulsive response to run. Like he was already really on edge coming into town.
Yep.
And so he's whatever voice he hears immediately, he thinks, oh my God, if he doesn't immediately recognize it, he thinks it's going to be Shadow Hands because they know his name and he knows they're coming for him.
Yeah.
So his heart is pounding like crazy, and he's breathing hard. And he's kind of ripped more of his cloak and robe as he's run, and he's kind of slashed his face up a bit because he's so concerned. So he's going to kind of look around and figure out who's out there.
Okay. So he's looking around, and why don't you give me a perception check, please? We'll use a exploration mode seek check here.
Alrighty. Perceive.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm really looking for stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so you are confident that you are not being pursued by anyone, and you've actually, I think, managed to keep yourself. You haven't lost yourself in the woods outside of Bog Town either. You're running through some pretty heavy snow, I think, or pretty deep snow at this point, but you're free to sort of make your way. I think even with a roll that good, you're probably able to position yourself so you can secret yourself into Bog Town in a way that no one else would expect you to be coming in there.
That makes sense. I think he probably figured this out the last time he was here, considering he had trouble getting caught cheating at cards and other problems. So he has targeted this spot. He ran to this spot purposely.
Okay.
So he's now going to try to make his way into Bog Town without being seen, but he's going to be looking for his companions.
Of course. Okay. So he is, you realize, like, oh God, I've lost track of anyone now. The Bog Town itself, just as a refresher for I guess the players who haven't been to Bog Town before. Bog Town is a town of about 464 people, which means that it is about 2/3 the size of what Helix is. It is located on the eastern edge of the Barrow Moor at the base of the Moon Peaks. Bog Town was first populated by men for the purpose of logging and as a location to facilitate trade between Ironguard Mott and the dwarves of the Moon Peaks. The local villagers of Bog Town, mockingly called boggers in Ironguard Mott and Helix, also have contact with the handful of elves that remain in the Weirdwood. Now, the Thornswild elves, the ones that you guys have met with, they're a separate tribe from the or separate clan or whatever, however the elves organize themselves, from the Weirdwood elves. The village has a seedy reputation. Bog Town is a haven for the lowborn and outcasts of civilized society. Although Bog Town is comparable to Helix in many respects, the village is smaller and possesses fewer amenities. It seems as though most structures are in disrepair, and almost everything in the village is covered in moss from the constant dampness. And Bog Town's reputation is well earned because you guys have also heard that the Shadow Hands, the local thieves guild, they are situated out of here. And there's a great illustration in the book about Bog Town, and that would be the Toasted Troll, the only tavern in town.
Cool.
And I think, Bargo, you're likely very familiar with that.
Yes, and in fact, I remember the last session when I was here, the plan was to go to the Toasty Troll, so I'll know that my companions have planned to go there. I don't know if they ended up there, but I'm going to be trying to head to that place. And, of course, mage armor. So get translucent energy, kind of like a reverse waterfall, like cascades up from the ground over him and disappears.
Okay. Okay, so you've got your stuff up. So you describe for us how does Bargo kind of make his way into Bog Town, trying to,
Well, what time of day is it?
It would have been late afternoon, which means that it's pretty much dark by the time you finally make your way into Bog Town, because it's winter time.
That's good. And are people out and about in Bog Town in the winter, or what's the how?
Not really. I mean, it's a lot more active than what Helix is. Helix has been a bit of a ghost town since the but I mean the dwarves and the dwarven merchants are them and their goat-driven carts are pretty sure-footed and are with that and magic are able to make their way through the passes to get up to their strongholds. They don't just seal themselves off for the winter. So it's quite busy, although there are an awful lot more dwarves here than certainly you saw in Helix. Most communities, unless they're actually exclusively dwarven communities, don't have quite the high percentage of dwarves in them as what Bog Town does. So you probably see a couple of them. If where you're looking for, let me tell you some of the for those who have not been to Bog Town yet, some of the main features here. There's, of course, the Toasted Troll. There is a shrine to Crom, the god of battle. There's this temple to Sylvanus, the Green Man. There's a trade goods store called the Broken Buckler, and there is a small depot for the Silver Standard Merchant Caravan Company. SSMCC actually is an easier thing to say than that whole thing, so I think that's what I'll be doing from now on. The SSMCC is it also has a presence here as well. And then the rest of the things are like, maybe warehousing, and then like private residences, and then a couple other necessary things, like there's probably a Cooper in here, there's probably a Wainwright in here, and yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start to head into town. Are there any light sources, lanterns, or anything that are along the streets of Bog Town at night, or is it total dark?
It's pretty much total dark, apart from the outside of the Toasted Troll.
Okay, so I will cast Dark Vision just in case.
Okay.
Again, I'm insanely paranoid right now.
Okay.
I will be prepared to cast invisibility immediately if I need to, but I'm not going to do it yet.
Okay.
I'm going to walk into town as quietly as I can. So I'm going to essentially be stealthy and keep to the shadows, stay away from any lights coming out of windows. But I'm also going to walk as if I am an ancient man.
Okay.
Just if somebody does see me, they won't, no one will.
What's your?
Be like, it was a young wizard.
What's your deception?
My deception. Let me double check it. Make sure I have it correct. Is a 6. 6.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're, doing your faux old man thing, and you managed to get to the point where you can see, you got a good vantage for the entrance to the Toasted Troll. You see maybe like 2 dwarves go walking along and then make their way inside the thing. You're studying up and down the the street to see, or the short thoroughfare to see if there's a way you can get in. And you're about to go in when you see a tall man with shaved head, with fairly, honestly, kind of like fish-like features, kind of goggle eyes. He's got really pronounced lips, and he makes his way up. He's flanked by 2 other men as well too, and your heart kind of stops in your throat as you see this guy, because you recognize him as Ernst Gunther. And Ernst Gunther is a very he's a ranking member of the Shadow Hands.
Okay.
He's got he is not necessarily the top, but he is one, and he is a remorseless killer.
Can I tell if he has spotted me, or if I've only
from what you can tell, like, he and the two henchmen who are flanking him, all of them are dressed in very dark leathers. It's tough to tell the color in the light that the small amount of light that's here, but you can see his glistening bald head, You can see the others are dressed in grimy kind of leathers. They have weapons at their waists, and it seems like the two henchmen are talking to each other back and forth. But Ernst is doing that thing that where those big kind of pronounced eyes of his. He's got he's narrowing his eyes as if like he's trying to focus his attention, but they're so goggly and big, right, that you can quite easily see where they're looking. And he's looking, studying back and forth as if he was a serpent making his way towards prey. And
Okay.
you kind of back into the darkness.
Yes.
Why don't you give us a stealth check, please?
All
I'll
right,
give
here
you
we
a
go.
+2 to the result because of the
Oh,
ambient.
good, because
yeah.
I got an 18, so a
So
20
20.
total.
Okay. So what do we see as Bargo kind of jumps back into the shadows?
So he kind of, I don't know if there's sort of an alley-ish way or somewhere he can
Yep.
kind of duck into. So, and he's got dark vision, so he can see pretty well. So he's also checking the alleyway to make sure he's not walking into like 6 other Shadow Hand members. So he's taking a quick look, and then he's like backing into the darkness. He's got his cloak pulled over his face. So he kind of goes back into this alley and then peers around, but he like goes really low to the ground and then peers around.
Okay.
So he's not at like eye height to
Sure.
see what these guys are doing.
So you can see that Ernst seems to be making his way in. Let me spell the name for you as well, too, guys.
Ah, okay.
And Ernst is, makes his way in with his henchmen into the Toasted Troll, and you can see that they, if you get a little bit closer and look in through the window, it seems that he's joining what looks like other companions. Now, to give you a sense of what the presence of the Shadow Hands are here, like they're not, they are not like the open rulers of this town. They're an illegal organization. If they came out as controlling the place, then it's likely that the Duke would send someone down here to crush them. Instead, they just operate in the shadows, and they're kind of like it's an open secret that they're the ones who really control this place.
Okay.
But you can see he seems to be meeting with some people, and like if they're not members of the Shadow Hands, then it's flunkies of the Shadow Hands or they're underlings of the Shadow Hands.
Do I happen to see my companions at all inside?
I don't think you do at this point.
Okay.
So what
okay,
we
I
know,
think my plan's going to be, unless something changes, to wait here,
Sure.
and hiding in the alleyway until I see any of my companions walking in or out or into the town. But if that goes beyond an hour, then I'm going to try something else.
okay, it definitely will go beyond an hour.
Okay.
Like we know that you don't join them tonight, so I'm
okay.
guessing
Gotcha.
that you, because we've had like they've spent the last session was all them kind of drinking it up and whatever else. And we know that you didn't meet up with them in their play in the when they left to go and go to their the quarters. Now there really only is one place you can like rent rooms in here. You can't get it at the Toasted Troll; it's just a tavern. But you can go and rent either rooms, or you can rent in the common room at this kind of like barracks that's in town.
Okay, so that's going to be my plan. I'm going to try to get a room there, but again, I'm going to try to not make any try to be as discreet as possible, but also like pretend to be kind of this older
Sure.
older guy as much as I can.
Okay, so when you go in, it's there's a woman who's running that place, because standing around in the muck. This place, like all the walkways between the different buildings, they have like planks of wood down to try and like give you something to walk on that's not just mud. But you standing in the middle of the alleyway, you're standing in freezing, mud, basically. So you very quickly the damp and the cold will start cutting through. Even though you're wearing your winter clothing, it's going to really start getting to you. So you finally go in, and what's your what do we see as you're making your way into this barracks to try and get your room?
So I kind of constantly looking in every direction to make sure I don't spot any obvious shadow hands. So I think it goes without saying at this point. But I just want to go straight towards the desk or whoever I have to talk to get the room.
Yep.
I'm trying to avoid any eye contact with anybody or interacting with anybody, bumping into anybody. So he's just sort of making his way. He's got his staff, and he's just kind of walking forward like this, and his cowl is up like that, and you can just see it's like down to here.
Okay.
And when he talks, he's gonna kind of have his head bent, like he's
Hello, dearie.
Yeah, almost. Hello, I need a room.
Okay.
And he's doing some like weird accent that
sure
he can't do. Accents,
yeah, give me
like
a deception check, please. Let's see how well this goes over.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Just for the hell of it, I will spend my 1 action point
Or hero point. Okay.
to try that again. I mean, hero point.
Yep.
Jeez. Here we go. Okay, I'll take it.
Nice. Okay. So you come in and it's convincing. What do you think? What's the accent he's putting on?
He's trying to do a northern accent since he came from there, but he can't really. He's not from there originally, so it's not great. And I can't do it, and I don't want to. Anybody who's listening to this, I don't want to.
I'm going through, and I'm like, I will do Swedish Chef. That's where my accent will go.
Oh, yeah. My accent will go into some place. You're like, what's wrong with you?
Oh my God, is George having a stroke?
You'll be like, please stop. My wife won't let me sing, so that's as bad as it is.
That's tough.
So it's fair. No, it's fair.
It's okay.
It's totally fair.
We have my mom sings like, you know how like in horror movies when they play children's nursery rhymes but a little too slow so it's creepy.
Yeah.
That's how my mom has sung like that since we were kids.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
We've been recently teasing her about it like mercilessly. It's great.
That's really fun.
Doesn't stop her from singing at all, but anyway.
All right, so yeah, I'll do a sort of northern accent, like, oh yeah, I don't know what that's gonna be, but imagine that this is
it could be Germanic too, right?
Yeah, that's not gonna.
That's gonna help either. You're not gonna go to Hogan's Heroes.
There's nothing good.
Hogan.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, exactly. I know nothing.
My name is Clink.
So I will attempt to do that as I speak to her.
Sure.
In common.
Okay.
And just ask for a room, and I'll use as few words as possible to not trip myself up.
Okay. So she says, "Well, you're lucky, traveler. We have one room left. I must warn you, it is the most expensive room in the we have available, the most lucrative one." Yeah, she's completely fucking lying. You can tell this is probably a trick she tries to pull on. You may actually have at least a passing familiarity with this woman, and it's something she pulls on travelers all the time. I must charge the full rate, otherwise my husband will beat me.
What's the rate?
The rate is, and she pauses as the DM looks through the book here. The rate will be 4 gold pieces.
Well, so much for my plans is just to pay it and move on.
Now you can try and negotiate that, like that this is bullshit that she's pulling here, and like there's no to give you a comparison. Like a private room should cost about 8 silver pieces.
Okay. I'm afraid I'm an old man. I do not have that kind of coin. That's quite a bit. I can pay you a gold. I can leave early in the morning.
Okay.
Don't sleep much.
Yeah, I won't even have to put the sign in the door.
Exactly.
Give me a diplomacy check, please. Let's see how
okay.
this goes over here.
Yeah, I got no more hero points. So.
She says, "Old man, you would have my husband beat me?"
No, of course not. I have no money. I will have no money left to eat if I give you all that I have. What if I give you a gold and I have only 7 silver pieces? Can I give you a gold and 4 silver pieces? And I show it to her. I literally open my pouch and I dump it onto the counter. It literally is all I have. It's not a lot.
She stops and looks down at it. And she pulls over the gold coin. She pulls over the 4 silver pieces. She pulls over 1 more silver piece. I pray that this is acceptable to my husband. Though if he lays his hands on me, it will be as good as you doing it.
And he thinks, well, I hope he does. But what he says is, I hope that doesn't happen.
Okay. So she scoops your money and puts it in the in like her little into her hand, and then it disappears into her sound like a coin purse somewhere, secreted on herself. And she's very well. You have this one, the 3rd floor, the 2nd room on the left. It's probably not that big. It's probably only 2 stories. 2nd floor.
It'll take me a while. Good, because it'll take me a while to get up those stairs.
Of course.
And he literally purposely takes one step at a time, shuffles up the stairs until he disappears.
Yeah. So
and the second he's out of sight of her, he suddenly starts walking erect and goes to the room and gets in there as fast as he can.
All right. So you, what measures does Bargo take in his room? It's a tiny little room. Like, there's absolutely no way this is their finest room. Or if it is, it speaks poorly of what everyone else is sleeping in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a window?
I think there is, yeah.
Okay, cool. So here, I don't have a lot of options. Can I lock the door? Like, do I have a key that locks it from the...
Yep.
Okay, great. So I lock the door. I will see whatever latches or if any are the window or shutters or whatever way I can close it as, best as I can.
There's probably storm shutters.
Cool. And then I will, let's see. I'm going to look around the room for anything like a chamber pot or any items that I could put on the sort of the windowsill, like on the ledge, in case somebody tried to come in.
Sure.
In the dark, might knock them over.
Yep, done. Okay.
That's my plan. That's all I got.
Okay, so you've got stuff set up, and then I imagine you fall asleep, kind of watching the door and listening for every sound. And it's only.
I actually put the bed up against the door so it blocks the door, so somebody tried to open it.
What? Hold on. Doesn't Bargo have a strength of 8?
Yeah. So he tries to block the door, and he gives up, and he's like, you know what? It's fine.
I just remember you use it as his dump stats, so.
It's true. No, he has a -1, so he
We see a montage of him trying to move this from every possible angle and just will not move.
That's perfect. Yes. So he gives up, and then you cut to him. He's sleeping.
Yeah.
Exactly where it was.
Sure. All right. So then, what we will pick up with, guys, is the morning. As the kind of like gray light of dawn is coming in, and just like in Helix as well too, the fog comes in the evening in Bog Town. So what we see striding through that is 2 short, squat figures, which represent our 2 dwarves. We've got a long, a dwarf with a big staff with an eagle on the top, a long flowing beard, and then next to him, a dwarf dressed a little more raggedly with no, a crudely cropped kind of beard, and crudely shaved head as well too. Is he naturally bald, Jeff, or is that he shaves it?
No, he's cutting it off.
Oh gosh, so it's got like nicks and shit on it too, or because he's using some old knife that he's been using in the wilderness for a long time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So pretty rough looking character coming in, followed by or accompanying Werben. Now, you guys were, I think you guys got up, like, effectively before dawn and started, made your way out towards Bog Town. Why don't each of you give me a society roll, please? We'll see how much you guys respectively know about these 2.
About Bog Town.
I'm guessing you don't have a high society, Jeff?
Yeah. Oh, Mode. So Mode had a good question. Why I don't run 5e on the channel, actually, too. And so, I mean, 2 reasons. One, I don't dislike 5e, but I think I prefer Pathfinder 2 for the kind of game that I want. I do run 5e for my son, but we don't stream those games. And also, I mean, just for practical, there's like so many people who run D&D 5e online already. It's kind of fun doing something that's a little different from that. So I think it's a solid game, and it definitely has different things that it does. It's a lighter rule set than what it's a little lighter on its feet than what Pathfinder 2e is. But for me, 2e, I don't find it to be an unmanageable level of crunch, and certainly I don't want to speak for the players, but I mean, none of you guys seem to have been overwhelmed by the level of crunch in PF2. So,
And I would just add to that I was just telling somebody that it's great because we get to play all these other kinds of games that I normally don't get to play because there's tons of 5e everywhere. It's easy to find a game, and I do play it, but this is always a great opportunity to play other games, which I also enjoy.
yeah. So, Mo, that's why it's not anything because of the, what do you call it? Because we don't like 5e necessarily. It's just that there's so many other games. And for myself, I do prefer, for our groups we run on here, PF2 is a better fit for me. For my son, he's not as much of a, gaming nerd as what I am. So 5e is a better rule set because there's less fiddly stuff he needs to keep track of. So I like it. Plus cool handouts, too. PF2 is still too new to have all the great handouts, but doesn't do us a lot when we're playing online either. So I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in particular, though, you were saying you like Ravnica.
I love Ravnica. Yeah, the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica is one of my favorite gaming products I've got in the last couple of years. So much cool stuff in there. It's a great, great setting that has all the best stuff of like Eberron. All the things I like about Eberron and Planescape is present in Ravnica, so I like that an awful lot. So anyway, but let's see here. So society rolls an 11 for Oberon. How did Werben do? I need a society roll from you there, please. Steve-O.
We lose him?
So Oberon, I think what that roll will tell me is that when you do need to get supplies and stuff like that, you likely go to Ironguard Mott. You cross the old dwarf bridge and go there because there's so many dwarves that you see in Bog Town.
Right.
So I think that sort of the broad strokes of what's going on in Bog Town. About it's a small town. You know that it's got a sinister reputation. Holy shit, Werben! Do you want to spend a hero point to re-roll that, or?
I live in the forest, man. Okay, let's why not? Sure.
Okay. A 4. Although, hold on. Do you have any training in it? Is that why you're rolling?
No, I've got a 1.
Oh God. Okay.
And that's all 20. Here we go. Boom. 10.
10. Yeah. So I don't think. I mean, I think you guys would have worked out where you want to meet, and I think that Bargo knew it well enough, so you would know that there's really only one place to stay, and there's really only one place to drink. When you go in here, but you don't know anything else about this town. So the two of you guys are walking in here. What sort of what is the plan here for meeting up with the rest of the party? You know that they're likely to be staying at the barracks.
Yeah.
You do know what your friends look like, right?
Yeah, I can recognize them if I have to. Yes.
Well, let's wander around is the least we could do.
All right.
Okay.
That's a good idea. Let's catch up.
So I think we'll have what is the one who's going to be the most cautious. I think Zuko and Angus are likely going to be potentially nursing hangovers from their big night out with the dwarves. Angus was going drink for drink with one of the one of the dwarves from the Moon Peaks, and Zuko was indulging in a little bit of orcish whiskey as well too. So, whew.
Nice.
Yeah. What's the saying that, dwarvish beer, have no fear, orcish liquor, never been sicker? That's the saying, isn't it?
So there's lots of dwarves here at Bog Town? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I think in cases like this, Oberon would have a hood on he'd have a cloak that he puts up with a hood up. Yeah.
So he's trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, Bargle, what I'm curious of is what your strategy was going to be in the morning. There's less shadows to hide in.
Yeah. He's going to continue with the old man ruse.
That's your cover ID too. Hello, I'm Old Man Ruse.
Yes,
that's
you can call me a ruse, though. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I like it. That sounds like something he would figure.
Oh yeah. Well, it fits with our abuse of the elderly in here with exposition grandma in Helix. So
perfect. So old man Bruce will. Do they serve breakfast in this in the barracks, or is it just purely for sleeping?
You'll probably it's just for kind of staying. You'd have to go to the Toasted Troll or,
And there's no common area where people congregate.
There's a common room where everyone sleeps if they're not if they're not fortunate enough to get a room of their own.
So I'm gonna at least check there to see if I see my companions in the common area, and if not, I'm gonna go outside.
Okay. So you head down and you look into the common area, and what you see, I think. Let's see here, Zuko, give me a fortitude save. Let's see if you're up yet or not. Oh yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. So you know what? Yeah, in spite of the, it's going to take more than a little bit of orcish whiskey to keep you down for an evening. So you're sort of up. How about Angus? Why don't you give us a fortitude save? See how rough you're doing.
Ooh.
Not great. So you're not. I mean, not like whole body shaking, voiding your stomach, kind of hangover. But you're not feeling great.
Yep.
Yep. In addition, we are, now that you guys have all met up, everyone gets a hero point.
Yes.
Okay, so what happens next, guys? Zuko, who do you think spots the other first, Zuko or Bargo? I mean, Bargo was actively looking, so.
Yeah, I think Bargo's actively looking, and Zuko is hungover at the least.
Doesn't notice him at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that confirms it. So, are there a lot of other people in the common area?
Quite a few, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm basically gonna try to make my way over to them, without interacting with anybody. That's my plan, to get over there.
So you can probably do that. I mean, everyone's sort of having a rough, start to the morning as well too. You make your way over to Zuko, and what do you say?
I say, it's Old Man Ruse. And I see if he recognizes me.
Bargo, you know Angus, of course, as well, too, because you guys helped save him.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and Werben knows Angus as well, too. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I keep my cowl down and say it's Old Man Rouge in my faux Germanic northern accent and see if he buys it. I'm just trying to see how bad this disguise is.
Zuko squints his eyes as though he's got a mild hangover and looks over and goes,
Zuko, give us a perception. Oh, you did already. 11. Yeah, you can't see through his disguise. What's your deception bonus there, Bargo?
My deception is 6.
Oh yeah. So you're looking like, why is this old guy talking to you?
Yeah.
And then I
oh wait, smelly man. You smell smelly.
So I'm about to just say something to him, and I'm like, smell? What do you mean I smelly? I'm not smelly. And he sort of gets
suddenly it's
by this,
Bargo's
and he breaks
voice.
his accent.
Yeah,
exactly. He's like, that's smelly.
It's Bargo in a hood.
It's me.
Angus, you wake up around this point as well too. You can hear them talking, and you look over.
Zuko's
I quiet down, and I realize I'm talking too loud. Yeah.
You're alive. That's good. I made friends.
That's good as well.
Found out where to go to meet, and he leans in and goes, Mother of Toads.
Yes, should we head out and go do that? I think it might be a good idea to kind of get out of here. You never know who's looking around for people.
Maybe.
I mean, you guys, maybe me, but you guys too. Could be anybody. Who knows? We don't know. We don't know.
If we go to find her, we must flatter her favorite and give up something personal to get what we want. So
whatever we gotta do, we gotta watch out for those witch hunters, though. Remember those witch hunters? Those are bad guys. Bad guys. They're probably coming back. They might be around here somewhere. We should get out of here right now. You ready to go? Everybody ready to go? Hey, you look good. You look good. Come on, everybody up.
Barrow, give me a deception roll, please. And, Zuko, what's your perception bonus?
5.
Okay, so 15 is a DC.
Here we go.
Yeah. He definitely seems concerned about these witch hunters. Why? How does he know so much about witch hunters?
Does he follow us?
You never know. They're witch hunters. They can do lots of things that we don't know about. We got to get out of here.
Okay.
I'm just looking out for you guys. I don't want anything to happen to you. I mean, we saw what happened to Angus. He almost got killed. I mean, we don't want that to happen to him again. I mean, me too, but I'm more concerned about you guys.
Zuko just looks at him because Zuko talks fast, but Bargo's talking really fast.
Yeah, this is the fastest you've heard him talk.
Yeah,
for sure.
He was like, okay,
He's
okay.
definitely. He's in that.
Angus,
He's definitely Benny from the Mummy mode right now.
Angus, how are you feeling?
I'm trying to sort of trade off eyes because every time the one that's open causes that side of my head to hurt from the light.
Yeah.
You okay, Angus?
Squinting and, I'll eventually be better.
Okay. That's good. Well, there's nothing to eat or drink here, so we might as well leave. You ready? Can I help you with your stuff? Here, let me help you with your stuff.
or did you spend all of your money and can't afford anything?
Well, I have a few coins left, but there's nothing to buy here, so we might as well leave now anyway.
Okay.
And I'm literally, the longer this takes, the more panicked I'm getting, but trying to remain calm, but I can't.
Okay. So yeah, he's getting. And more people are kind of waking up in the room. Shut up! Sit down and shut up!
Just an old man here. Come on, guys, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here.
Zuko follows.
Okay, so Zuko gets up. Angus, you're the last one down, and you think maybe the room's gonna stop spinning if you get up.
Well, it's put at least a foot on the floor, one at a time. Sort of roll up.
Ooh, that was
that
was the wrong decision.
No. Okay.
Zuko's got a healer's toolkit expanded. Could he get some smelling salts to wake him up quicker?
It's not so much that he's passing out; it's that he's just got he doesn't have the nausea or whatever else, but he's got that pounding headache that you get with.
Yeah. Good. Okay.
You're
Let's
not.
do it.
Yeah, there was something that they were insisting you drink last night called dragon's blood.
Yeah. So I think Angus, kind of just barely aware, thinks, Bargo's got the right idea, and pulls up his hood way over his head. The medieval equivalent of sunglasses for the hangover.
Zuko's shaking his head. He's like, "That's what you get for being so tall. Center of mass way too high."
Hey, you just stay in the shadow.
So you guys collect your stuff, and then it sounds like Bargo will be kind of effectively shepherding you guys out as fast as he can. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, but still then pretending to be an old man.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go.
Okay, so you guys make your way out into the kind of muck-filled streets of this. It's cool. The morning mist, that ice fog that comes in the evening, is still here, still hanging around. But you can see off to your right, a little further down the street, you can see the distinct form of this dwarf, or this pair of dwarves does kind of stand out because of Werben's distinctive staff. You can see him making his way down. So it seems like Werben has made his way to town as well too. So what do you guys do?
Hey, is that Werben?
Hey, Warren.
Werben, you hear the sound of a voice you recognize.
I hold aloft my staff.
Okay.
And summon a lightning bolt. Bam!
Yeah.
Zuko flinches a little bit. He's like, "Hey, none of that."
Bargo's looking around, making sure nobody responded to that. Who would looked over here when that just happened?
Yeah, Angus, this is for you.
Oh man.
Let's have no more of that.
Okay.
We're gonna go. We'll go up and meet. We'll get closer. We'll join them.
Sure. So the five of you guys meet up. You can get kind of like breakfast to go effectively at the Toasted Troll as well too. They do that for caravans that are heading out. It's just they're someone who hands out small little packets of like eggs and a biscuit and just something that's a quick way to get you guys a breakfast on the go. If you want to grab that stuff, Bargo, you may want to get. It's a bit of a crowd. First thing in the morning, so you may want to let someone else grab your breakfast for you.
Oh yeah, yep, way ahead of you.
Okay.
You're handing over the silver I've got left.
So what? Let's talk about how how you guys plan to what do you call it? How you guys plan to kind of approach this? Bargo is not privy to any of the information. Neither is George, actually, for any of the information you had about the Mother of Toads.
Mother of Toads. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, neither is actually Oberon or Jeff or Steve, for that matter. So, guys, why don't you tell us how you're going to kind of fill things in here?
Should probably do that on the way out of town.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, it's the Zuko waved a few of the dwarves you might have met last night. It's like, I made friends with these guys last night.
Yeah. I think they're on their way to Ironguard Mott, probably. So you probably see Adric and his clanmates. They're heading out, in the morning as well, too. Grab the breakfast. They do a quick kind of howdy and, see you again. Hope to see you on the road again soon. Or hope to see you on the road again soon, I guess.
Can I roll to see if I know anything about the Mother of Toads?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me an occultism check, please.
Ooh, good. I'm real good at this one.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sarcasm.
It's like Roll20 hears you. It's like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, you know. No, I don't know anything.
Yeah, it's showing your bonus is a 0.
It is, yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You're
he
being
was
sarcastic.
kidding. Okay.
I was joking, yeah. I'm not very good at that.
I'm apparently very literal-minded.
Yeah.
So, he knows that the Mother of Toads is likely a toad.
Yeah, she's the giant toad that lives out in the woods, right?
Yeah, you're like, what's this Mother of Toads thing? And Werben, why don't you give me an occultism check, please?
Oh, yes. Here we go.
Not a whole lot better. So Werben knows what I've told you guys before about in general about the Mother of Toads, and that she's this ancient and powerful being that seems to live outside of Bog Town. She is said to be both a keeper of great stores of wisdom and also an incredibly fickle and powerful being. One that can be difficult to deal with. That's the extent of... And Werben, you're like, how have you not heard about the Mother of Toads? But that's all you've heard. So, you guys get your food, you say your goodbyes to the dwarves, and you begin heading out of town. What is the plan here, guys? What are we...
Well, so as we're walking out...
Let's do this. Let's let Zuko and Angus fill you guys. Zuko really learned the most about it. Zuko, why don't you fill the guys in for what you've learned about the Mother of Toads?
Okay, so she's very scary, but is a source of a wealth of knowledge and other riches and rewards. I found that we can try and earn her favor by finding her favorite and, like, I don't know, giving them lots of praise and admiration, but that's a crapshoot. Also, nothing is free with her. You have to impress her, offer something of great worth to yourself, and she'll decide if it's good enough, and if it's not, then we might become toadlings, or worse.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's very scary.
Do you find out how to find her?
I think so. Southwest, I think? Yes, southwest.
That's all you got? Just generally southwest? Any
Mine's a little foggy
specifics?
from the alcohol.
I see.
Let's see if he...
Well...
I roll to see if he remembers better.
Well, do you have anything to add, Angus? I mean, or Arlen? Like, Arlen, you heard in like out of character. If there's anything that you heard that, or that Zuko heard that you want to add back in, please feel free.
I'm trying to remember any of the other details. It seemed like the big thing was that she, you make an offering to her, and she decides whether that's worth it to her to actually help you, and it has to be something seriously precious. And then that's not enough,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then she assigns you a task on top of that too, to knowledge.
It could be simple as like stealing from somebody or getting a dragon's tear or something.
Angus as a character, basically just heard about the terrors of the Barrowmore and only remembers maybe a third of what he was told because he was fairly far along at that point. So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. I think the only question is, how do we find her? So you notice that Bargo started speaking more slowly as you've gotten farther out of town. So he seems to be calming down a bit. Mm-hmm. It's definitely noticeable.
Well, so maybe mechanically, I'm wondering if there's some way to do like basically essentially a seek using occultism as opposed to using perception to try to figure out what kind of area she might be in as we progress through the Barrowmore.
Sounds like a good idea.
And Angus is actually pretty good at occultism.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely buy that. So let's transition into you guys heading outside of town down into the southwest. Now, the southwest of town is much closer to what you guys have experienced in the Barrowmore. It's the you know, because through other parts of the Barrowmore. So let's do this.
Those characters who have been to the Barrow.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless it's fresh.
Yeah.
And it's much Bog Town is much more on the cusp of the Barrowmore than what Helix is. So let's just hold on, we're gonna transition over here. Because boom. Let's get rid of these guys here. Oh, they all died. Just kidding. Is he? Okay, here we go. So this is what, and let's just refresh our memories what the Barrowmore is like. So as you head out, of course, there is that creeping silence that seems to suddenly fall in the moors. The one thing that changes here. Let's see here. What? Let's see here.
Oh, there's that knot of tension right in my chest. There it goes.
This is appropriate. I love, John, how you respond to audio cues. It's fucking great. Like, no.
It's a whole nother level of gameplay when you have audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
So, you can hear as you start making your way into the Barrowmore. Now, yeah, the Barrowmore currently is not quite the same as what you see on the screen, guys, because it, of course, is blanketed in snow. The trees are bare and twisted alike, as if they are spasming creatures that were frozen in a specific pose. Their skeletal limbs twisting and writhing, and each of them, to speak to the lack of wind through the Barrowmore as well too. Each one of those twisted limbs is caked up with heavy snow that has just not been disturbed. So as you're crunching your way through, anytime you guys brush up against something, there's just a ton of snow that'll fall down on you as well. Kind of like, oh, shit. And as you as we see you guys venture out into here, let's talk about what strategies you guys are going to adopt in here through the the search for the lair of the Mother of Toads. So we're going to use my travel rules again, because I know how much fun you guys had with those last time. How's everyone's fort save?
All 7, so still unlucky.
So here's what we're going to do, guys, is everyone is going to take a roll in this stuff. Finding the trail is going to be one skill test for sure, but also not getting lost is going to be a skill as well. So you're going to want to be keeping an eye out with occultism. I think like those are both two tasks you guys can be doing simultaneously. So if you want to have Angus take the lead on occultism, and I imagine Werben's got the highest survival bonus.
Oh,
probably.
Yeah. Nature is 11. Yeah.
No, your survival.
Survival is 9. Yeah.
And I'm pretty good at occultism as well. I'll give it a
Okay.
10.
Ooh,
So-
I got a 6.
Other things you guys can do during this as well, remember, is things like keeping an eye out for things to drive down the random encounter chance. Where's my random encounter? Oh, yes, here it is. So, you guys can do things like someone can keep watch to drive down the chance of random encounter. You can scout to try and get a bonus to your initiative in the event that you have a tactical encounter. You guys can make some inventive, pitch for using other skills to try and do things. What do you guys think? You use, make creative uses of your spells. You can try and help your allies with what they're doing. What do you think, guys? We know that Werben and Angus are doing. What about the rest of you guys?
I think Bargo is going to. So he has an innate detect magic spell.
Yep.
Cantrip. So he obviously he's not going to be casting it, but I think at strategic moments in conjunction with Angus saying like I think there's something this way, he's going to be like casting a detect magic for that moment and trying to see if he's detecting any magical essences or anything that's
So I'll let him do that as well. The thing is that he can't really do it as a persisting activity while he's traveling because it's it would exhaust him. You would get a level of fatigue automatically. And
yeah, I mean the way I'm thinking about it, you can tell me if this still doesn't work. Is that like every hour or whatever it is that Angus is like, oh wait, I think we have to go this way.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I think that what I'm saying is the utility that it's adding. This is sort of like I'm going to search for a word in this book and then like flipping through it at random and then stopping and carefully studying one page and then flipping through the book a bunch more and then stopping. And so I'll let you. That's absolutely what Bargo's doing, but you can do something else in the interim as well.
I think he's just going to be, because this is what he's been always doing, is being on the lookout.
Okay, so you're driving down the random encounter, neighbor. How about Zuko
exactly.
and Oberon? What are you guys thinking?
Zuko is going to assist Angus.
Okay.
So he's
With occultism, okay.
With occultism.
Nice. And how about Oberon? What is he going to be doing?
I think at this point, Oberon would probably be hanging out with Werben if he can assist him. He would. Otherwise, he doesn't know these other people, and so he's a little leery of this whole thing at this point. So,
Fortunately,
he's probably trying to learn from Werben about this area too.
Absolutely, yeah. So, and I think one benefit you've got as well is there's no other dwarves here.
That is nice.
Right, so there's no other dwarves in the party. Okay, give me a sec here, guys. Fucking love this song. Real toe tapper.
Exactly. It's got a beat. Dance to it.
Like I've been listening to.
Summoning bad images in my head dancing to this music.
Okay, so let's see here. Right. So both. Let's see here. Oberon, would you kindly give me a survival check and Zuko a occultism check?
And forth. Blah.
17. Okay. So Zuko's not contributing a lot to this just yet. No, it's unfortunately not good. 8 is a 20.
8? 8 is a 20, okay.
Yeah. Oberon, would you kindly give me a survival check, please?
Come on, helpful. Whoa.
Wow. Yeah. So I think what maybe is happening is Oberon keeps offering suggestions. It's not a crit. Well, actually, it is a crit fail. Because it's 10 less than the target number. So you're offering insights to the point where it's actually distracting Werben from doing his actual search. So you're looking along, and then he's like, "Well, look at this here," and you're like, "Yeah, that's nothing." And you keep going, and then he's like, "Hey, look in the trees." And you're like, "Yeah, that's still nothing." Keep on going. So, who would like to make their roll first? Angus or Werben? For trying to make the successes
I can
here.
do occultism.
Okay.
Cool.
Angus the sort of wizard.
Oh, I think I'm re-rolling that.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh,
Ooh. Yo.
yes!
You made Kevin's night.
I love me
Yeah.
some crit failures.
So, you know, this is how we get zombies, right?
Yeah.
Literally how we get zombies.
This is why we can't have nice stuff.
That's true.
Werben, would you kindly give me a survival check, please?
Oh yeah.
And you get -1 to it, unfortunately, because of your enthusiastic helper.
Oberon, it's good to see you again. Yeah, but
But zip it. Hey, that's really good though. So like you're not lost. You know precisely how to get yourself back to, back to Bog Town, if you need to. So fortunately, the search thus far has not thrown you off. Unfortunately, Angus. So you're trying to, you're trying to follow the. Well, why don't you tell us? Like, what is it you're picturing by using occultism?
Well, I was thinking that there's probably like a sort of almost like small signs that have been left, because there's probably some connection with the Mother of Toads if people know about her, right? And so there's like, maybe small signs left in the moor, or like a pile of rocks that marks the way, or
generally it's only the most desperate or foolish who would bother to seek out her advice, like, because it comes at a cost all the time. Most people are like, nope, not worth it.
What about warnings?
Yes, there may be that, or just signs of the mother as well, right? Like,
signs of the mother. Or I was even thinking maybe like there's a weird kind of way in which Angus, and maybe this is part of the crit failure, Angus has a sort of paranoid's expectation about the nature of the world, that the things are going to line up in a way that's going to have a sort of occult meaning, right? The angles of the trees are going to form a specific sign, and of course that doesn't actually pan out at all.
No, well, it may. It just may not be the Mother of Toads that you've tracked everyone to. So,
Right.
Bargo, would you kindly, let's see here. We'll start with you with the blame for this. You were keeping a watch. Would you kindly give me a D20 flat check, please?
Yes, here we go. 9.
Okay. Now, I should really grab the oversized novelty dice. Because it definitely gives a much more satisfying...
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And let me quickly check here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters. What is everyone's level? We got 1, 3.
What?
Bargo and Werben, are you guys? Werben's 4.
The level 4? Yeah, level 4.
Oh, Bargo's 4 as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see here, guys.
It's nice knowing you, henchman.
It's something to be said for, when you're adding more henchmen in, it does drag the average party level down. So
Right.
Ooh.
there is that. And Zuko's 3 and 2, 4. Okay. All right. Let's roll one more thing here. I won't do that all the time because that takes a lot of time, but...
Timing is everything when you're running a horror game.
Yes, right. And it's horror month, too.
That's right.
So good. There's a saying that I love, that I'd rather be lucky than smart. And this is where, like, don't gotta plan anything. I'm pretty sure my players will present me the opportunity to do horror.
That's
right.
Critical failure? Oh, yeah.
I love it. Okay, let's see here. Okay, and there are 5 of you. Okay. So, Bargo, you are helping him out. You're keeping eyes out, and then once Angus kind of stops, you immediately kind of like, use your ability. And again, like there's that overwhelming sense of necrotic power Now that you're actually back in the Barrow Moor as well too, and it actually feels more potent here than where you guys were before, than when you were exploring near where Helix is. Let's see here.
I imagine the dead is more powerful here than even in the other area of the Barrow Maze.
Okay, so what happens is, Angus, you believe that you found something. Is this a toad trail? There's markings here. And it appears to be old footprints as well. And let me quickly go and see what I've got set up already. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I know what I'm going to do. I don't know, I'm whispering. It's the NPR edition of the Dungeon Musings podcast.
Right.
Tonight, we're going to have a really nice encounter with a bunch of undead. And if you donate now, you can get a duffel bag with all the dead heroes on it.
The quietest party wife in existence.
All right, let's see here. Okay.
The music, man.
Yeah. Well, also, I think I mentioned to you guys that I have picked up a ton of Gabriel Pickard's things as well too. Like I think it's like 10 or 11 other new sets of maps, and like they are so fucking cool looking.
That's awesome.
And he is. Oh, there we go. Oop. Damn it. There we go. So, any thoughts for what next characters will be, or?
Yes.
I just started creating them.
Just kidding. Yeah, Jeff spends all fucking day making this character.
Yeah, and he's dead.
And he's dead. Although, you know what? He will have had a better fate than other Oberon, who was killed by Brent.
Yeah. Not the best.
Okay, so let me quickly get thing here. Oop, what am I doing here?
What was that?
Okay, boom. Look at that. Look at that. Holy smokes. Hey, good stuff. Guys, there's all sorts of fun we got on offer here now. Okay, let me just position some stuff here, guys. It will be, the payoff for this will hopefully be worthwhile.
It always is.
You know what we should do? Actually, hold on. We're like we're past our halfway point. Why don't, while I'm fucking around with this, let's take our break too. So I'll finish setting everything up here because I want to get these tokens set up quickly with the stats on them as well too, and then we'll proceed with the encounter when we get back.
Cool.
So, and for those listening at home, I'll keep chatting away so that you're not stuck with just creepy music. So what we're setting up, I guess, you know, one thing I'll say is this is one of the nice things about playing in Roll20 is it really is very, very easy to set up these like on the fly encounters. You know, well, I'm getting some feedback from somebody. Who am I getting? No, it's gone now.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird. And here we go.
I was dabbling with the game I'm setting up and realizing how easy it is to set those encounters up.
Yeah, it's really great, and because I like this kind of like you know, I like it's from my old school, I guess, inclinations, but I really love the being able to have these kind of improvised encounters. There's some games that it's easier to do this than others, and love that in this one.
Music.
Yeah, wow. Don't worry.
I don't know why I respond to it like I do, but it's just that tension right in the chat.
It's so great because it's like you have a physical reaction to it too.
Like over here, I'm like chills and whatnot. I know it's psychosomatic, but whatever.
Awesome. Okay, let me get our heroes here. Here we are, guys. Boom. Transport you guys over. And then I need to run to the Saldabam. And then we'll come back and proceed with the encounter. Anyone need to refresh their beverages? Now is a opportune time.
Yeah,
I guess those of you who don't have it right in front of you. You guys. Much better plan. You know what it is? I don't trust myself with coffee in here. So, or like a coffee pot or water, jug or something like that. So,
Product placement.
yeah, really. Nice. Yeah, we got Galantry tomorrow morning too.
Oh yeah, my day's my day's just filled up with games tomorrow.
Oh,
I
there.
got yours in the morning. One of my friends just said, "Hey, what about noon or 1?" And I'm like, "That's fun. I get to play my old barbarian tyrant grasp character, which is
Oh, cool.
turning out to be amazing."
Okay.
And then I got a Giant Slayer game lined up for later tomorrow night.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna be. I'll run just 2 seconds here, guys, and I'll be right back. Wow.
Hey Jeff, are you using the spell Magic Fang on your druid?
I don't currently have it. I could use it, but I don't have it memorized right now.
No.
Why, do you have something that I could cast it on?
I have the same spell as you do, and I might be able to help you out with that.
Okay.
You know what it does, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's very nice. And did you say you were going to grow horns or something? Your wild morph?
Yeah. That was the idea.
That's pretty cool.
See, Kevin didn't okay it yet, for sure, so
Oh.
I think he will,
I
but
thought he said it sounded fine to him, but
yeah.
I mean, normally you get 2 claw attacks, so 1 bite or gore. Seems fine to me.
Jonathan, you said you're level 3?
Yes,
Yeah. How close are you to 4?
200 experience.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. You might level tonight.
That's
If we
why I was
survive-
hoping
if we
for a win
survive.
in the counter, yeah.
Oh, you got one. You got your wish. Let's hope we live through it.
Well, I'm sure I will. Because if it's undead, you know what I'm very good at killing?
Yeah, that's true. Bargo's good at running.
Yeah. I've got a few spells I still haven't used that you guys don't know about.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Had to set the ambient lighting here too. Something
Yeah.
more appropriate.
Yes.
Okay. So, what you guys see as you make your way in? Uh-oh, is this getting... What's happening, John? So,
I'm trying to distract myself.
I think that Angus is likely taking the lead here. Werben is keeping a careful eye out, walking alongside with Oberon. Bargo, you're near the front as well, too. And Zuko, you're kind of keeping up the rear. So as you guys are making way through this thick and tangled and frozen swamp, Angus, you find some like I described before, some markings. And as you're making your way through, you kind of push aside, again, another snow-covered bush, and step out into this opening. And what you see in the middle of this opening, clear through the snow-covered underbrush, are ancient ruins. In particular, there are 2 crudely formed arches made of cyclopean slabs of stone. Something covered in moss and snow at this time of year that seem to have maybe at one point formed part of some other titanic structure, now lost to the swamp. You're fairly certain this is it. This is where you will find the mother of toads.
You actually got us here? Holy cow!
And here's where you guys are. Now, Oberon, you may not be able to see, because I may not have given you sight yet. Boom, there you go. And,
Perfect. Whoa.
hold on. Oh, global illumination, yeah. Okay. So, guys, this is what you see around you. You carefully go walking up. These stone structures tower over you. And maybe... Angus, are there markings concealed by centuries of growth and decay? What happens next, guys?
I think Angus is gonna kind of scooch over and examine the markings.
Okay. So you head over and you're trying to clear out... Well, I said it appears that there are. I did not say that there are.
Okay. Angus is gonna try to examine what he believes to be markings, or the remnants of markings.
Okay. So you carefully make your way over there,
Solid ground.
and you push things aside, and you're trying to study this stone. And Zuko... Oh, it wasn't... I'm sorry, Bargo was keeping watch, not...
Yeah.
Okay. Bargo, would you kindly, as Angus and Zuko head over to examine this ancient stone, what do Oberon, Werben, and Bargo do?
Bargo's just gonna scan around. He's just gonna look for any signs of any moving creatures.
Okay. How about Werben and Oberon?
Spells. I'll play the detection spell. Werben will use his nature ability to listen to the forest and try to detect any sounds that seem out of place.
I think that would be... To interpret what the sounds are would be nature, but I think to actually hear it would be perception.
Okay.
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 So, okay, so you are likewise going to be scanning. How about Oberon? Is Oberon... Werben seems to be, cupping in, his ear and listening. And again, there's the sound of nothing in here. Oberon, this is so different from what you are used to in the Moorwash forest, in your home. It's alive with sound. Even in the wintertime, there's the rustling of the trees, the creaking in the wind, the crunch of snow under your feet. Here, the sound of each footfall as it pushes through the undisturbed snow, it sounds like the cracking of ice on an enormous lake. What is Oberon doing?
I think he's just, at this point, looking around and examining the area. This swamp is... The Barrow Maze is very strange to him. He's probably not spent much time here.
Yep.
In this area. And so he's... As a survivalist, he's thinking about, what would I eat? And,
Sure.
where would I find shelter if this goes bad? And, that kind of thing.
Okay.
He's a survivalist more than anything in this.
So let's do this. How about Oberon, would you kindly give me a survival check, and Bargo and Werben give me perception checks, please. Angus and Zuko, there's actually nothing on here. Once you get closer in, it's just your eyes are playing tricks on you. You're seeing things that you want to see, rather, at least in this area, than what is actually there. Okay.
Okay.
Zuko looks up on these tower things. How tall are these?
at their apex, they are probably about 50 feet tall.
What's the slope on them?
Whatever the slope would be to make it 50 feet tall from the ground from there. So,
Oh yeah, but how far?
you're the one who's familiar with architectural drawings. You tell me.
Is it like a steep curve, or do they curve slower?
It's an arch. It's like an arch of these things placed together. Imagine like the
So this kind of arch,
the lintel or whatever,
arch,
like
or this kind of arch.
yeah, that kind of arch basically. So
How
let's
about
see.
handholds? Are there handholds?
Werben. This is crude enough that you could probably climb it if you were so brave as to do so. It is that once you get to a certain point where it starts.
If I was so brave.
Yeah. Werben. So hold on.
Did someone say if Urban is brave?
Werben and Bargo, you guys are keeping an eye out, and again, like this place is so quiet.
Yeah. Got a bad feeling about this.
You're straining your ears to even pick up the sound of wind. And there's a touch. But what you hear is the sound of something crunching and the sound of like the reeds that you see here that block your view, as if something was pushing them aside. And you think you hear softly from somewhere over here, past those bushes. Angus and Zuko, you need to look a little closer at this. Maybe it's just the area you're looking at. You're certain there's got to be something on here to some kind of markings that explain this trail that led you here. Oberon, what you find is that yeah, I mean, like this, you're keeping an eye down. This seems like a you know, apart from these strange ruins, it otherwise appears to be a normal, you know, what do you call it? A normal swamp. Bargo and Werben, though, what do you guys do?
Creatures, and I'm pointing.
Okay.
I'm not yelling it. I'm like, because I'm right close to Angus, so I'm just
Sure. What does everyone else
trying
do?
to let him know.
Zuko tries to hide.
Okay. So, Zuko, why don't you give me a stealth check, please?
You're gonna do the Family Guy into the bushes.
Yeah. Let's see how your stealth goes. Pretty good. Okay. So let's put you over here in there. Okay, what about Bargo and Werben? Apart from, are you doing anything else?
I'm
Shillelagh, nice.
I'm gonna step back. Is my intention? Can I do that now, or
Absolutely. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna move back a bit to here.
Okay. So every one of those things is a every one of the squares that has a what do you call it? Reeds in it. That's gonna be difficult terrain.
Okay.
Okay. The rest of the area that's water, you can assume is ice. So Angus, you see Zuko pulls back and then seemingly disappears into the woods, or into the bushes, or the reeds, I guess. What are you doing?
I am going to draw my sword. And, maybe even, I think I might summon up my shield and sort of concentrate to keep it.
Okay. And Oberon, you've seen, everyone seems to be getting ready. You've been like studying the plants, and then you hear one of your, I think Werben or Bargo say, there's someone over there. Zuko seems to disappear from your view. Werben does, what does it look like as he casts Shillelagh on his staff?
He whispers to his staff and sort of like maneuvers his fingers up and down the staff and sort of it almost starts glowing like embers from a fire.
Nice. Oh, that's super cool. Okay, so
Go through.
and now it's magical. Oberon, what are you doing?
He says, "Which way?"
I point in the direction of
That
we heard
Zuko went, or that Angus is?
that the creatures are out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oberon moves up with Angus, peeking around the pillar.
Okay.
The henchmen are on the front line. Not good.
Okay. So I'm not pausing for dramatic. Well, I'm kind of pausing for dramatic effect. But I'd also like everyone to click on their token
Mm-hmm.
and kindly
Give
roll
ourselves 2 hero points. Oh,
for initiative.
Do you have the turn order up, or can we do it now?
You
What
can
do
go
we
ahead.
use for initiative? Perception?
I think perception, yeah. Except for Zuko. Zuko can use stealth.
Oh. I'm gonna keep that.
Okay.
Am I rolling for this again?
Click on your token, and then on the about midway down on the right.
Right. There it is.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me check with our...
Double click.
I double click, so first one counts. 21.
Okay. All right.
Or I'll go last, whatever.
Here we go. All right, guys. So, the wind is blowing. Your blood is beginning to pound in your temples. Bargle, you have 3 actions. What are you doing?
okay. So I'm using my first action. I'm kind of elaborating on my spell casting to get my spells to go farther, which is a reach feat that I have. So that's 1 action, and then I'm using 2 actions to then target that spot where I thought I heard something and cast a sleep spell, which is a 5-foot burst around
Okay.
that spot.
Well, you knew that it was beyond these reeds here, but apart from that... Okay, yeah, so that's fine. I'll let you try to target over there.
Yeah, I'm basically just getting like a 10-foot, but I know I'm like, it's a little bit random and I made.
No, that's fine. That's the coolest thing. There's a a great. I was telling you guys about that. There's that animated series on YouTube that does like spell cards for D&D.
Yeah.
One of the ones that one of the stories is about using sleep, and like when there was this fortified structure of kobolds firing out at the guys, they targeted the one part of the roof they could see, and then it put all the kobolds to sleep.
It's pretty awesome.
It's a pretty ridiculous spell, yeah.
I'm a fan of sleep. It's not as powerful in Pathfinder 2, but
No.
I get it. It's really so.
Okay, so you do so. What does it look like as his sleep spell goes off?
So it's almost like a heat shimmer appears and goes out, warps out across that space in a sphere.
Okay.
And kind of like ripples through any creature objects that are there. It doesn't make them move or anything, but like it sort of goes through them.
Yep.
Totally silently.
Okay. All right. You have not noticed, because you have not used a seek action. You have no idea as to whether it is effective or not. Good use of your meta magic, though.
Yeah, well, and that's the problem. It costs an action to use the meta magic.
Oberon, what are you doing? 3 actions.
Okay, so can I see anything from where I am?
You cannot. So what you could do is try and use a seek action to try and notice something.
Okay, sure. So do you roll that or no?
Yep, it's a perception check.
Okay. You just roll perceive?
Yes.
Ah.
Okay, so the rest of you guys do not see this, and actually they're going to act right away as well. You guys ready?
Okay, yeah.
Let me first show you what you spot. sure I've had these. Oh, yes. Guys, this is what you see.
Okay.
And this is kind of like what the reveal is for you, Oberon, is kind of like that scene in Aliens where they, you know, the thing's going off. They're inside the room! That thing's not working. I'm telling you, man, they're in here! And you go and look up in the ceiling, and then you see them crawling along. These things are almost completely concealed by the snow because the cold means nothing to them. You're looking out, and then you see one of the things shiver. Are the reeds, which catches your eye because you've been studying the natural surroundings, and you see coming towards you. And here's where they are. 1.
So glad I hid.
2, 3. You have 2 more actions there, Oberon. What are you doing?
I will raise my shield, and I'll yell to everyone something along the lines of, "There's undead over there."
Okay. So that means that you guys, it will be easier to spot them. You still need to seek action to see them, but they are no longer hidden. They are they're no longer not undetected. They're just hidden. Okay, but let me just quickly copy one of these guys so I can have a token. Paste. Add turn, and they are acting on 19. So let's move them up here. All right, so these things now come racing down, and let's see here. The first is going to leap down onto Angus. So, 2, 4, oh yeah, down, boom, lands in front.
On the arch?
Sorry? Yeah, some are coming down, crawling over the arch to be able to drop down on you guys. Okay. Alright, so then Angus, this thing drops down and it stinks. Oh no, it isn't, it's frozen. So this is sort of like, I'm picturing kind of like a Draugr, where it's like a drowned and frozen undead. The body is all kind of, you know, as it moves, you can hear the cracking as its frozen flesh is breaking apart. Bits of ice are falling down, but it has this horrible wet in the inside of its mouth where its needle-like teeth are. This thing was at some point a human being, but that was long, long ago. Angus, does a 20 hit your AC?
Yep,
Okay. Do you wish to interpose your shield?
I do.
Okay. You, 4 points of damage.
Shield absorbs.
Okay, so actually, well, the shield is gone, though.
Yeah, I mean, the shield is gone, but it absorbs the full blow.
Yeah. Okay, and then this thing snarls, and its second hand flashes out. It does not hit. I think the hit like staggered you back, and then it clawed at you. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This thing comes scrambling down and then leaps at you, Werben. One of these hideous things swings at you. I don't think that a 15 hits you, does it?
My AC is a 16.
Okay. 6. Another one comes running up to you, Werben. Yep, misses as well. The one that you saw through the reeds, it comes as if it was like a shark kind of cresting out of the water, or breaching the water is the word I'm looking for here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This thing gets out of the snow-covered areas there, Oberon, and comes racing towards you two. And I'm gonna do random rolls here. Angus, you will be number 1, and Oberon, you're number 2. Angus, lucky Angus. Another one of these comes in the side. There's no way that hits. Okay, and then the final one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Ooh, we'll do the same thing, actually. Let's see. Oberon. This thing comes in at you. It only gets one attack on you, though. Does a 24 hit your AC?
Oh.
Remember, though, it's also like whether it's a crit or not. That's not 10 over.
No.
Okay, awesome. So, do you wish to interpose your shield?
Sure.
Okay, so your reaction is. Oh wait, you must have shield block. Druids have shield block, right?
Start with
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you interpose your shield. Your shield takes 5 points of damage.
Which he's a hardness 3 for that shield, right?
Yeah, so it's 2 damage to your shield. The blue bar is your shield, Oberon.
So, like, on the character?
Yep, and that should track to your character sheet as well. So your shield would then take 2 points of damage, and you'll take 2 points of damage. And I need you to give me a fortitude save, please.
Or 2.
Okay, do you wish to spend a hero point? That's not successful.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, go ahead.
Come on, roll 20, don't screw him over.
Yep.
Yeah,
That just means I get to re-roll?
Yeah, it's a reroll.
Oh. Oh, good lord.
Hey,
Okay.
Roll 20 just hates me.
apparently it does.
Okay, so as this thing claws you, you can feel like you've been cold as you've been traveling out here as well too, but the cool flows all the way through you. You are now flat-footed, and you cannot take actions. At the end of your round, of your turn, you will be able to take another save against this. So let's put
The end of your turn.
end of
You're
your turn.
paralyzed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do here. Put a snail on you. Or here, let's do this. The color coding. Purple for paralyzed. Boom. All right. So that is it for your Zuko. What are you doing?
Zuko would like to summon an elemental
Okay. Where did I put his token?
to this square right there.
Okay. I think I. Let's see. Oh, we had our fight in Ironguard Mott. Yes, and I was smart and did not delete the token. Good, good, good.
So this time, not a ground level. I want him to be up, out of reach,
Okay, where do you want to put him?
into that square, which is 30 feet away from me.
Okay. Now, how far up is he?
About 10 feet.
10 feet? Okay. That means his flame would only extend 5 feet out from him.
It's a 15-foot cone, isn't it?
Right, but he's 10 feet up. He's got to get down to the main level, so...
Well, then put him right there then.
Okay.
Because the plan
So
is
it'd only be a 10-foot cone then, which would catch Oberon and Angus.
And put him there, and he'll be ground level. He'll be fine.
Okay.
The intention is to breathe fire on those 3 guys.
10-foot
Yep.
cone. He's gonna be able to catch one of them. That's it.
Oh, it's only a 10-foot cone?
No, because of 15 feet, but he's 10 feet up.
Oh no, he's gonna be at ground level.
Oh,
So
he is at ground level. Okay.
I want to hit all 3 of them.
Then you're gonna hit Angus, or and Oberon.
Will it?
Yeah.
15-foot cone should only hit 3 squares from his point.
Right.
Is it?
Count how many squares away Oberon and Angus are.
Oh, it's gonna hit these guys?
Yeah.
Okay, make him 5 feet up, and I don't want to hit those 2.
Okay, 5 feet up would be 2 squares out, so he's only gonna hit one of them. Okay, so let's see here. Go ahead and click on the breath weapon.
How about here, and then he can hit these 2?
This is final placement.
Okay.
Okay, so he's here, and if he's 5 feet out, he's gonna hit Angus then. So that's what's happening. So Angus, I need. Well, go ahead and click on what the ability is, John.
Okay. I really don't want to hit those guys.
Yeah, well, you know, we tried 3 or 4 different placements of them. We got.
Well, you're not gonna hit anyone.
Oh
I
man.
never roll well with these spells.
Oh man. Okay, so. Oh god.
It's just a cone, so there's no attack roll, but
Yeah. Okay, so he appears and kind of was a little disoriented for where he is, and fire sprays out, but doesn't seem to actually hit anyone. Okay.
Don't they get reflex saves?
Zuko, you still have one more action, don't you?
No, that's a full round. Three
Oh, it's
actions
the
to
summon is 3 actions? Okay.
But I think they get a reflex save to resist half the damage.
Well, hold on. I'm going to read.
Yeah, it's DC 17 reflex save.
But that's only if they're hit, though.
It's not
if
an
you got
attack.
an attack roll, then they're not...
It's not an attack, it's just built in.
Right, but
not
you just
supposed-
rolled an attack roll with it.
It's not supposed to have one, it just it's automatically in there from the stat
Okay.
block.
Hold on here. So let's see here.
Sorry.
That's okay. Did it erase the... Because I thought we had that information in there before. Did it erase it at some point? I don't remember having to look this up last time.
Yeah, I can't erase the modifier in here, so...
Okay.
Sorry.
Alright, so I need a DC 17 reflex save from you, Angus.
Oh.
Nope.
Unfortunately, both of them made their saves.
There's a persistent 2 fire damage, though, with it, so... Oh, hold on, if they make their save, there it
If
is.
they make their save, yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Angus.
So they take 2 points of damage. Angus, you take 4. And what you rolled? Oh, you rolled 2, which means yeah, they'll take 1 persisting. And Angus,
Yeah.
you're taking 2 persisting.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's 3 rounds, so they can use it again.
Okay.
Did not work as well as I wanted it to.
All right. Okay.
But hopefully they target him instead of Oberon.
Well, he's
Right.
5 feet up, right? So
Yeah.
that's persisting fire damage. Angus, you got persisting fire damage as well. Okay, sorry. So that's it for Zuko. Angus, you take
Sorry, Angus.
you take 2 points of fire damage.
Okay, so
I promise to heal you on my next turn.
well then I'm gonna do magic weapon,
Okay.
2 of my actions, and I'm hoping that they don't get opportunity attacks.
That is a manipulate action.
That is a manipulate action.
I am so sorry. But you now have a magic weapon.
Oh, nice.
Oh yay!
No reactions.
Well, and that's good because I'm trained in armor instead of weapons anymore, so I need every bit of help I can get to actually hit things. So, 2 hands on my magically enhanced claymore.
Okay.
Let's take a swing at this one right here.
Okay, go ahead. 17 is a hit. Wow, big hit too.
Die.
Wow.
17 it does, so it doesn't do this top 16, it does the bottom 16 instead, but I mean it rolled the same, but the bottom 16 is my 2d12 instead of 2d8.
Oh, because of the extra thing. I got it. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right, so yeah, big swing. So you nearly cleave this thing in 2. It's tattered
Right.
remains, covered in snow. It's barely, hanging together. It's only like if you cut a side of beef, a frozen side of beef in half. That's sort of what is wobbling along towards you. You still have 1 more action.
I don't think I do. It's
What was your
2 actions for the spell,
2.
1 for the attack.
1 for the
2
attack?
for the
what were
magic
you-
weapon.
1 for the attack, 2 for the spell.
Oh, sorry. I saw. I was looking at
Yep.
touch. Okay. Roll a flat d20, please. It's DC 15 to make this fire go out. Nope. It persists. Werby Werbs, what are you doing?
Oh man, if I cast Burning Hands, then they get attacks of opportunity, right?
Well, no.
If they have a what do you call it? A reaction, yes. But if you were the keen tactical player that I know you are, you were paying careful attention and saw that Arlen just attacked and was not, or cast a spell and was not attacked by the reaction. It would have to be some really sadistic DM who was holding back on the reaction just to see if someone else would do that.
It would have to be a really sadistic.
Yeah, it turns out this one is the one who is, the undead knight instead of the undead
Yes.
peasants that the rest of them are. So he actually remembers how to do
Sir Rodicus.
opportunity attacks.
Burning Hands. Oh.
Okay, so 15-foot cone. I think just because of where they are, there, Werbs, like you're only going to hit 1.
Oh shoot. I forgot that it wasn't the 120-degree spread that it was in the old version.
Yeah.
You wouldn't allow me to do a little shift, would you, on that one there? If I went like that, and then
I will. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it to the guys. What do we think, guys?
I think that what Werben knows that Werben knows how the spell works, right? So he knows that he could take a stride first and then blast.
I would say that if someone did not try and work the system and said, you know what, here's my role-playing reason for why I cast my spell in a poor way, is because I suddenly had 2 fucking frozen ghouls on me. That is the kind of role-playing that might actually merit a no prize of a hero point.
So the hero point is prize.
a hero point. So like Werben uses a hero point to do a dive roll.
No. What I'm saying is that if you take the hit, which would be a roll explanation. Remember what a no prize is. Marvel Comics in the 60s used to give these things for where there was a fuck up in the story, but someone gave a reason for why it's actually not a fuck up and an explanation in continuity. If you give me a role-playing reason for why that would have gone wrong, I certainly would give you a hero point for that.
Well, I mean, Werben's not new to the game. One of the things he does is he suckers his opponents in by standing very still and looking like he's intimidated or frozen, and then his opponents become over-eager, and at the last moment, he dodges out of the way.
So no, Steve, you're not hearing what I'm saying, or I'm not being clear. You have to, if you stay where you are and you only target one and you fuck up your spell, then you get a hero point. If you choose to move, no hero points, because you're going back and bombing Berlin.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, fair enough. Well, we don't want to go back and
You
bomb
can do
Berlin.
either. No, you can do either. But I'm telling you that, what do you call it? Because you're right, your character would know the spell, but if you give me a in-universe reason for why it wasn't a fuck-up, then I'll give you a hero point for it.
Okay. So Werben it has got Bargo behind him, and he's concerned about his partner's well-being. So
Love it!
Acting as a human shield, he simply uses his spell on one.
That is a well-earned hero point. Awesome explanation. Nice. Great role-playing. Okay, so then, does Burning Hands allow a basic save as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does it? Okay.
Right, I think.
Yep, that's a fail on the basic save. So, takes 9 points of damage. Wowzers. And that is, I believe, only 2 actions for Burning Hands. You still have 1 more action there, Werbs.
All right. In that case, he will take a little step in this direction. How about that?
But it's all yours, Bargo.
Yeah.
And now you're on your own. All right.
Bargo, what are you doing?
Okay, so I'm going to step here.
Yep.
And I'm pulling out the staff that was lent to me by Zuko. Staff of Fire.
It's 70% usage time, so.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I will unleash its mighty arcane power to do a Burning Hands as well.
Awesome. And yours will, you'll be able to catch both of them in there. So go ahead. I'll make the save for these guys.
Here we go.
Oof, I rolled.
Oh! So it's a DC 20.
Yeah, unfortunately. So one of them is completely consumed by it. The one that Werben, so it's the combination of you guys. You kind of both stride back simultaneously and in Inferno that remains. One of them is completely consumed. The other is somehow able to actually duck its way out of the fire. So it's not quite consumed by it.
Okay, cool.
And that's the end. Okay, so Oberon, your turn. What are you doing? Oh, Oberon.
I'm attempting to save.
Okay, so end of the turn. Give me a fortitude save. Come on, henchman. Oh yeah, we have from Wednesday's session as well. Arlen.
Yeah, one of the comments about don't call yourself a henchman.
Yeah,
you know what happens to him.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that when I got blasted by fire from a summon from a party member.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a henchman.
Oh, did we lose Jeff? Jeff, you still there, bud?
Nah.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay, you are fine. Yeah. So you shake free. Your eyes are kind of like flashing wild around you, seeing these ravenous undead things. You manage to shake yourself free in time for them to have their turn. Okay. Werben, the one that is engaged with you, wants to make you pay. It brings its disgusting, desiccated mouth in towards you. Needle-sharp teeth, all yellowed and stained. Ooh, a 20 versus your AC. Is that a hit?
Ooh, shit, that's a hit.
I need a fortitude save from you, please. And you take 7 points of damage.
I need fort saves for lunch. Here we go.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think you choked on that lunge.
you did earn yourself a hero
All right,
point.
so
You do have a couple hero
he's gonna
points.
he's gonna regurgitate his lunch for a hero point.
Okay, go ahead and reroll. Let's see.
Blam! Take that.
Still not good enough. Turns out he'll take it. Werb, you feel that same sickening, freezing feeling, and all of your limbs are caught. Oh, which means that these next 2 attacks are flat-footed. Your AC is -2. First attack, that is a 14. Does that hit you?
Oh shit! Now it does. Yes.
Oh no!
Oh man.
So it sinks its claws into your back and rakes them along, tearing furrows in your flesh. You take 5 more damage, and then it tries to get you with the last one. That is a 13. Did I take it? That's a miss?
That's a miss.
That's a miss. Okay. So this thing is basically trying to claw on top of Werben now. Actually, so here, Angus, let's do yours first. One of the ones that is in front of you, the one that you cleaved in two, it is basically just the barest remnants of this thing in this burning ruin from where the Mephit breathed on him.
He's on fire.
But he's still now this fiery and hungry undead creature comes forward. It like wobbles forward as its claw and teeth come in at you. The teeth first. 23.
That is not a crit, but it is a hit.
Okay.
Oh.
You take 2 points of damage, and I need a fort save from you, please.
Save.
You would not have expected this thing to be able to move this way. Oh, not a crit fail, but a fail. You want to spend a hero point, or you want to keep
I'm going
it?
to save my hero point for when I go down.
Okay, so you only took
Smart.
2 points of damage, but you are now flat-footed, so -2 to your AC.
Yep.
The second attack is a 17.
That is a hit.
Okay. You take, as its claws dig into your side, you can feel all of them push through. You take 5 points of damage.
Oh.
And its final one, as it pulls, tries to pull pull it out, but it doesn't take any extra damage, or you don't take any extra damage from it. Oh, the one on your side, though, Angus. Oh my God, you're at 2.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna try and
that's why
bite you
I saved my
again
hero
too.
point, like I said, for when I go down.
Yeah.
Does a 12 hit you?
I'm still flat-footed
Yes.
on the nose.
Oh,
No, it
man.
doesn't.
What?
It doesn't because I bought my padded armor.
There you go. Okay, so it tries to
Right.
bite you, and it's gnawing. You can see your eyes roll over, and this thing's biting in. It brings its claw down. That is an 11, which is a miss as well, and its final claw does not hit. So these things are scrambling and tearing. Your new padded armor is being torn away as these things are clawing, trying to get at you. And
And it
that
takes
one
fire damage now, right?
It
takes 1, and I got 2 flat saves on these things. Oh fuck, Angus, you're gonna take damage from that fire next time too.
yeah, I'm gonna like I said. I'm
Fires,
gonna
those
down.
2 things are still burning, and then the
I made a
one,
promise. I'm going to heal you.
the one on Oberon. Oberon, you've shaken free of that. Its mouth comes in. 24.
Oh yeah, no problem.
No, but is it a crit though?
No.
No, that's why I'm asking. I'm telling you guys the numbers. Okay, 6 points of damage. I need another fort save from you. And then
I only have a 50-50 to make those. Yikes.
So you are once again covered with this freezing. What am I doing here? Grip, and its second claw. There's no way that hits. Final one does a 14 hit your flat-footed. So -2 to your AC.
Yes.
So then you take a further 4 points of damage. Yeah, it's tearing along on you. That is the end of these hungry things. Zuko, you're up here. What do you want to do?
Zuko taps deep into his magic tower and unleashes a burst of healing energy.
Nice.
Targets everybody.
Yeah, I hit everyone and it hit
Awesome.
them, so
Why
they
am I
get.
rolling so low? Ooh.
How much damage was it?
6 positive, unless they fail their fortitude save. It's
6
fortitude 19.
positive. Okay, and the fort save is a 19. Okay. So let's see here.
Everybody heals 6. Everybody heals 6.
Nice.
Okay, bottom one takes 6. Middle one explodes in the wave of positive power.
Cool.
That one makes it save, and that takes damage. Okay, so let me adjust the damage here, and no, okay.
And then that was a full round action for me, but my minion gets to move. And he's going to swoop in here.
Wait. Hold on. That was a full round action?
Yeah, but the minion gets 2 actions of his own. It's part of
No, you have to spend
Oh.
an action to make the minion do stuff, remember?
Not for summon creatures. They get the. They
Yeah,
get
I
their
think
2
you do
actions.
still.
But
No,
no,
you-
I didn't sustain the spell, so he goes away.
Hold on. I don't think that's right.
With summon spells, I have to sustain it with an action.
Oh, so he's going to go away then.
Yeah, because that's the part of maintaining him. So I can't keep him.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so
mechanically
he
the same sort of thing.
disappears.
Trade 1 action for 2
Okay.
actions.
So,
But
yeah.
I promised to heal, so
Okay.
that's it.
Phew. Okay, hold on here. Let's see. Let me just finish putting the damage on these guys too.
Dang it. We need haste.
All right. Okay. Hold on, that one as well. All right. Okay. Angus, what are you doing?
Does getting healed do anything to influence my paralyzed condition?
Does
Because
not.
otherwise, I think the only thing I can do is try to resist being paralyzed.
Yep. So gonna. Well, you got 2 things. You got a flat check to get the fire.
Oh,
to
flat check for the fire.
Yeah, and you take 2 points
Can
of damage.
if I get unparalyzed, can I do anything, or is it?
Well,
at the end
first
of my
off, start of your phase, you take 2 points of damage from the fire.
turn? Okay. Yes. 2 points of damage from the fire.
Yeah. And
Flat
then
check versus the fire.
yeah, and then flat check versus fire, see if this goes out, and then your save. Still paralyzed, and then you're. Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, you're not. No. Flat check for the fire
No, that's
still
for the
burns.
fire.
Right,
Yeah.
and then your save. So give me a fort save, please. Oh man, yeah, awesome. You are
Tools.
not paralyzed anymore. And hold on, there's a. Interesting. Okay. All right. So you're still on fire, but you're no longer affected. Werby, what are you doing? You are currently paralyzed. So I guess you're. Give me a fort save at the end of your turn, please.
No. All right. That's all I can do, eh?
That's all you can do, unfortunately. Yeah. As long as you're paralyzed.
There you go.
Oh, nice though.
Oh, amazing. Okay. So Werb shakes himself free as well. Awesome. Bargo, what are you doing?
Okay, so I am going to, just in case, cast shield. So
Okay.
blue translucent hexagons form
Yeah.
up and then disappear.
Yep.
And then, I want to do an electric arc, which is the first time I'm casting this spell in the game.
Okay.
And it's 1 or 2 creatures within 30 feet.
Yep.
So they obviously don't have to be next to each other. It's just 1 or 2 within 30
Yep,
feet
that's
of
right.
me. Okay, great. So I want to target the one next to Werben
Okay.
and the one next to, north of Angus.
Okay. Sounds good.
So this guy next to Werben sort of lights up like a Tesla coil.
Yep.
And then some of that spark leaps over Angus and hits the
Nice.
other ghoul in the head.
Okay.
So it's a DC 20 basic
Yep.
reflex.
And both of them failed their save, so go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry. Click it. Electric arc.
Nice.
8.
Okay. So the first one explodes, and the other one is that electricity plays all over its body.
Nice.
Cool.
Is that it for Bargo?
That is it. That's 3.
Okay. Oberon, give me a fortitude save, please. Nice!
Awesome.
You are no longer paralyzed. And now it's their turn. Alright, so let's see here. The one that's on you, Angus, I think... Oh, first off, the one that's on you is going to take another point of fire damage. And then it needs to... Oh, it's... Yeah. It's currently on you and, like... It's still trying to get through. So it's bite. That is a 19.
That's a hit.
Okay. Angus takes 5 points of damage, and I need a fort from you, please.
Do I not get something bonus for my crit earlier?
Nope.
Oh, that makes me
Good
sad.
nice try.
Sorry. Actually, I looked at the
Well, some
ability.
of them, it has happened.
It
right?
does.
That
No,
you
you're absolutely
crit,
right,
then
yeah.
You
To be honest,
are
most
immune.
things do. And you know what? I'll give you a +1 to your save. How about it?
Did pretty well though.
21.
Oh, nice. Okay, so yeah, you are not paralyzed. Second attack from this thing. 24? Yeah, 24. It's not a crit, is it?
It's a good thing I'm not flat-footed, because it's a hit, not a crit.
Nice.
Nice.
4 points of damage on you.
Okay, I'm down.
Okay, and it's spending its last turn. Oh, God. Chewing on you. Which seems to hearten it.
Does that affect my dying conditions
Does
at all?
not, no. Does not.
Okay.
Okay, so let's put...
And how does persistent fire damage work with the dying too?
Oh, God. I think every
Does
time you
it-
take damage, you bump your dying
Yep,
condition
that's
goes up
what
by
I
1.
thought.
Shit.
So doesn't he go before the enemy and not after him?
Oh, it's directly before?
Yeah, because I was before Angus.
Okay. There we go. Okay. So that was 1 on Angus, now on Oberon. Okay, so Oberon, it's trying to bite you again. Fuck. I think that's a crit, actually. That's 27.
Oh yeah, that's a crit.
Okay. So you take 12 points of damage.
Whoa.
Whoa. You got a big bucket of hit points, though. That's great. And then a fort save, please. And did you crit last time? No, it was Werben.
Yeah, I haven't had an action.
Fuck. No, did you crit on your fort save? That is a 20. Okay. Yes, you're not paralyzed.
Good.
Okay, the second attack here. Miss. And the third claw. Actually, might be hit. Shit. A 19.
Who, me?
Yep.
Oh yeah, that hits me.
Okay. You take 4 points of damage. And are down.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm down.
All right. That's it for the critters. Zuko, you're up. What are you doing?
Making this very difficult.
It isn't my job description.
Zuko's gonna cast a first level spell called Jump.
I do want to point out as well, too, that perhaps unintentionally, you guys have done what every group does with the henchmen, which is make them fight them first.
I noted that at the beginning of this fight.
Yep.
Jesus.
So I'm casting Jump, and Zuko's legs bunch fairly well, and he leaps like. Where am I gonna go? I'll land over there.
Okay.
Just, then
Because
you
he's
just-
so small, too, I can't help but picture a Mario sound.
boing. And then Healing Radius is going to come out of him as he channels a first level spell with 2 actions to
Okay.
heal Angus.
Nice. Angus.
16 points.
Oh, that is some good teamwork.
Welcome to full health.
Yeah.
Fucking nice one.
Wow. That's awesome.
16, my god.
That-
For
yeah,
those
the-
listening at home too, this is part of the fun of a tactically heavy game like this, is you can have really smart plays by players like that, which allows you to go gloves off as the DM. Fucking great work. Alright.
I
Werby
wanted to
Werb.
take Oberon too, but I couldn't risk a 2d8 with plus nothing to it to heal everybody again.
Werben, what are you doing?
Urban will.
You got that magic staff on you right now.
What? That's right.
You got that magic staff
Oh,
on you
I-
right now.
I do. I don't want to not use that. Good point. Okay. He's gonna roll in here and give that guy a whack. All right.
Go ahead. Now, I think, is there a shillelagh version of your staff on there too? I can't remember.
There's not. Actually, I've only got the long spear and the javelin on my melee strikes.
Oh, okay. Hold up here.
Makes it a +1 striking weapon, so.
We're going to give you 2 seconds here. I can get that set up for you. And then we'll have it for ever and ever and ever until the character dies.
And ever, and ever.
I don't know how to spell shillelagh. Goddamn Welsh names.
Chill, Laylee.
Okay, let's see here. That'll be strength. You are trained in it. You get +1 to it. Oop, +1 to it. Guys, how much damage does a staff do?
It does a d8. I have a quarter staff,
Okay.
so.
Thank you.
Here.
Okay, 2/8 plus strength, bludgeoning. Right. So you see your shill staff there, Steve-O?
Boom. Hold on here. Maybe I'll just switch back to my. So I got character. I got long spear, shield staff.
There you go. Give him shit.
Oh, look at that. That's nice. All right. Do I hit the staff or the attack?
Click on the staff. It'll roll both then, attack and damage.
I am.
Here we go.
Boom.
Oh, that is not a... These things are unfortunately fairly nimble. Even though it's eating Angus right now. Do you want to spend a hero point and re-roll, or you want to take that?
Werwin's too jacked up for that crap. He's using a hero point.
Nice. Awesome.
Good call. Here we
All right.
go.
Hold on here. He's
Get off of my hireling.
Exactly. Boom.
Whoa!
Nice.
That is a hit. Boom. Woof! So you crack this, and it's the split that Angus had cut in it. It makes it even wider. So this thing's kind of like wobbling around now. It's off of Angus. It's on 2 feet, but the 2 feet are almost bifurcated at kind of the torso or the hips. You still actually have one more action. If you want to attack again, it'll be attacking at -5.
Yeah. Let's
Nice.
rock this business. Oh!
Oh,
That's what. Holy shit!
awesome.
I know.
Boom! So that thing is complete. What does it look like as you destroy this thing with your magic staff?
All right. So, yeah, comes in with the first shot to the head, and then turns to the spout, and boom, and plants the butt end of the stick there.
I will give you a hero point for the stage fighting demonstration. That's great.
Nice.
All right, and Bargo, what are you doing?
Okay, so I see that there is only one left,
right, yeah.
but he's still a nervous guy, so he sustains his shield, and then with the last 2 actions, he's going to cast Produce Flame. So it's a ball of fire that's going to appear in his hand. He's going to hurl it at that remaining one.
Awesome.
And let's... Okay, character sheet, open up. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Oh, well,
Oh, that's a big hit.
not terrible.
Yep. Okay. And let's see here. Boom. Hits this thing. And it staggers back, but it still seems quite hungry. Oberon, you are currently dying, but if you spend that hero point, you stabilize automatically.
Seems like the correct play.
I would
Yep.
agree. Okay. And then, yes, we are up to Angus. Angus, you're awake again. You take 2 points of damage from that burning fire still.
2 points from the fire. A step up
Okay.
And
Well, you stand prone, right? Because you were down.
oh yes, stand from prone.
Yep.
Step up, and then
Okay.
my one action to smack him.
You know what? Give me a reflex save. I'll tell you why once I see the result. Awesome,
Oh.
amazing. What I
Well,
was
DM can't take away my abilities.
no, because you know what it was is that like when you fell down, you would have dropped your sword, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That's
But you got a crit on your reflex, so you fell down as your kinsman would expect with your sword in your hand. So when
Awesome.
you got up, you had that with you. That is just enough to hit it and just enough to kill it.
Oh, sweet.
What do we see as this thing goes down?
Well, the blade kind of smashes through, and it's a stab kind of up through its chest, and then Angus sort of roars and channels more of the magical energy in, and it blazes up with light and kind of burns away the body.
Just the power streams out of its eyes.
Yeah.
Falls down. Its headset almost falls off too.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
That's a hell of a strike.
You hit it really hard.
Werben, as soon as this last one goes down and the adrenaline starts subsiding, that's of course when you realize your cousin is down.
Oh shit. Cousin! Cousin! Too bad I'm out of spells.
I have battle medicine. Would you like me to heal him?
All right, let's do a little healing here. All right, boom. All right.
Okay, that helps.
And yeah, how you doing there? You
I can't talk if I'm dead. Can
Oh, you're not dead.
He just hit you
He's
with
got 8 back.
8 healing.
Well, you probably spent 2 actions to give him 12.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So you gained 12 hit points back there, Oberon.
Okay.
Oh, I never recorded the 6 hit points I healed from that burst from earlier.
All right. So,
Good lord, what were those things?
They were ghouls and they suck.
So I think as soon as we drop out of back into narrative time, Angus drops his sword and starts
Yeah, because like
rolling
yeah.
around on
Okay.
the ground, trying to get the.
yeah, that's fine. It'll eventually go out. Here, give us a roll. Give us a flat roll. It'll be because you're stop dropping. No, it's snow here. It'll go out.
Okay.
That's fine. Now, what I do need, anybody who is hit by a ghoul, I need you to give me a fortitude save, please.
Oh, fever.
Nice.
If you're gonna say it like that, you gotta say it like it's disco
Jeff.
fever. Ghoul fever.
Fortitude.
Oh,
And Jeff has no hero points.
oh, and Oberon's got no hero
Well,
points.
Well, is anyone surprised that I got
No.
fever after?
Is it
Clearly,
better
Jeff-
or worse to
Roll20 has missed you and is giving a welcome
Exactly.
back.
Yeah, it's like, welcome back. Here's some numbers for you.
Okay. So let's see here. This is let me see. So for you guys are infected, but it doesn't actually start taking effect for 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
But you
That's
can
a
tell,
disease.
and Oberon is looking particularly, even for him, you know, for how pale and whatever he is. Let's see here. Oberon failed. Werben failed. Angus succeeded, actually.
So,
Oh man.
oh, we can't do it. Never mind. I was gonna say there's an action to treat disease, but
Yeah.
it takes 8 hours, so I don't think we can do that out here.
You guys want to spend 8 hours out here?
Yeah, I don't want to spend 8 hours out here in ghoul-infested territory.
Yeah.
For some reason.
So
Yeah, I'm with you.
why doesn't let's see here.
Hero
Zuko?
point spent.
Oh, you spent a hero point to reroll. Okay, nice. So only
Wait a
Oberon.
second.
Huh?
This thing that I took.
Oh, you took something?
Not battle medicine, is it?
No, I'm just remembered that I'm strong-blooded.
Cool. What does that do?
I don't know.
It's a dwarf thing.
I have to look it up. I think I typed it in here. Oh, it's only for poisons.
Mhm.
I just
Well-
couldn't remember if it was poisons or poisons ends disease.
Yeah, it's heritage.
It's just poison.
Okay. All right. So then, what happens now, guys? You've Oberon is up. He looks pretty wobbly on his feet.
Bargo's gonna move up to Angus.
We're so close to the Mother of Toads. We gotta push on, right?
Would everyone kindly give me a perception check, please?
Zuko is too busy scolding the henchmen for going up front.
Nat 20.
Oh, yeah, great.
Nice, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Angus too.
Oberon perceives that he feels like shit.
So Oberon, and the thing I'm going to go, we'll give it to Oberon partly because he's been having the shit kicked out of him, but also because he was looking at the things before. So Oberon, you're while everyone was talking about what they're going to do and how they're going to treat, and then you hear some talk about, someone says, well, we could treat, if he's sick, he's contracted something, I can deal with that. And someone else is like, we don't have 8 hours in here for dealing with this. Oberon, you sort of like take a knee, and you're just like, I don't know, like, what is going through your mind? This is the first time you've been in the Barrowmoor. What is
This place is horrific.
Yeah.
He pulls out a big herbal cigar that he's got a bunch of, and he lights it up, and he's sitting on his knee smoking his cigar.
Does he have produce flame as a cantrip?
He does. I don't know if I...
Yeah, so that's how you light it up.
Smoking.
Okay, so you're smoking it and kind of staring off. And that's when you see like something out of the corner of your eye, and it's because it's shiny. And you look over, and what you can see right around here, Oberon, there is a fairly fat, black-skinned toad staring at you with big yellow eyes. And it's just staring.
I look over and I say, hello?
It's kind of like, you can see it's like whatever it is, the flesh pack, and they're kind of, but it doesn't say anything.
I'll call the guys over. I'm like, see, I think we found your toad. And I'll point at the toad.
You found a toad?
I'll look at it. What does it look like, I guess?
It's about the size of Oberon's head, so it's a really big one, not like a giant toad, but it's extremely, extremely large toad, just sitting in the snow.
Like... We had a description from Sir Urbane's dream of a very smooth-skinned black toad. Is it smooth like that, or is this kind of like warty and normal toad-like?
So to visualize, it's closer to a toad than a frog.
Okay.
Right. So doesn't have that smooth skin that frogs have. It's got the wart covered kind of uneven surface of its skin.
But it's definitely black, or is it like dark green or something?
It's tough to tell. In this wan light, it appears very, very dark. If it's not black, it's a very dark green.
Angus,
as you guys all kind of make your way over and look at this thing, it doesn't seem to react to you whatsoever.
Just gonna make a guess here. This is not the mother of toads that is incredibly well informed and has always been here.
Angus,
one of her many eyes.
Because you rolled a crit as well, while everyone's focus is on this toad, you just have an instinct of like, and you look behind, all along here. There's maybe 100 toads. All roughly the same size, all looking very similar. They seem to just be there.
Hey guys, you're looking at one, I'm looking at 100. There's more of them. I sort of gesture.
Well, that's definitely strange. Perhaps the mother toads is somewhere nearby and they've gathered? Don't know, but it's kind of... Angus, what do you... So I have a decent occultism skill as well. Do I have a sense of... Like, I feel like semi out of character, but also probably in character, that he would guess, Bargo guesses that if the mother of toads existed in some place, like other toads of similar type would be attracted to that same location. So he's making that kind of sort of guess.
What do you remember about the mother of toads' relationship to toads? I don't mean like that she's the mother of them. I mean, like, what have you heard about her connection with the toads?
I'm looking.
There was the whole favored son element that we talked a little bit about earlier.
Yep. What I'm getting, what's the thing you've heard the most about before you ever got here? I'm thinking of how she seems to know so much.
Yes. Yeah. She's incredibly well informed. She's always been here.
Well, if the toads aren't her, maybe they belong to her.
Well, yeah, they're probably her eyes that are everywhere in the swamp. But
Yeah.
As you say that, Zuko, you look back and you can see, like, there is, as much as these are cold amphibians, there is a fire of intellect behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Hundreds of eyes looking at you here.
It was like, is there like one that looks like it's bigger than the others, like substantially?
They all seem very similar.
Okay, well, Zuko's gonna walk to the closest one and like kneel down next to it, look it in the face, and say, "We've come to entreat
So
the mother."
as you start making your way over towards them, they seem to hop to the side sufficiently to clear the same path where you guys came.
Maybe they're telling us that we made a wrong turn.
So follow the path.
Seems like the best option. There's some kind of sentience here, it seems.
Zuko's like, "Okay, let's go."
Okay. So as you get closer, you can see them. They all start sort of hopping out of the way and clearing your way. You travel about maybe 100 yards, and you reach just past where those thick reeds were that led into this giant opening. And what you see is a hole in the earth, approximately 10 feet by 10 feet, leading down, and thick mist is drifting out of it. As you get closer, it is hot, and it smells, and leads down at a gentle angle deep into the earth. The toads flank you on either side, as if some kind of twisted, amphibious honor guard.
Does she live in this hole, or is she trapping us in this hole?
No, it could be both.
Zuko
We shall see.
abdominally scratches at his chest where the wyvern stung him. Is like, I remember what happened the last time I went into a cave. Do we want to go in there?
I think we might have no choice. Is there a means of going down into this hole that leads down? Is it like on an angle, or is it you have to climb down?
It leads a gentle angle down deep into the earth. It's difficult to see further than 10 feet ahead of you, though, because of the thick mist.
Mm-hmm.
And correctly, I think it's more like steam. It's not hot or scalding, but it's warm.
Mm-hmm. At least it's going to be warm.
Yeah, Zuko was like, "Okay, and walks in.
So as you step forward, you can see things begin to glow on the walls. There are frogs stuck to the wall that become luminescent as you move past them.
Ooh.
But it casts a eerie, diffused, greenish light, as if they were some kind of sickly lantern because of the thick, heavy mist. You are quickly find yourselves very wet and struggling to breathe. If you ever walked into a sauna, or into a terrarium, and there's that just so much moisture in the air and so much heat, it's just very, very difficult for you all to breathe. You can go 2 abreast through here. What is your marching order, guys? You can go ahead and assume that the top of the page here is the front. Go ahead and situate yourselves the way you guys are going.
Okay. Well, despite... I mean, Oberon and Angus, you took the brunt of the attacks. I don't know. I will ask you, where do you wish to be?
Well, I think it makes sense to have Angus and Oberon towards the middle or the back, not just because they took the attacks, but also if they're the henchmen, right? Angus is thinking this is kind of your business, right? He's along for the ride at this point.
He's not wrong, but Bargo's trying to make him feel like he's supposed to say that he should be up front.
Who's gonna take the lead?
While they're discussing this,
okay. Yeah.
Oberon's going to take a big drag right at the end of his giant cigar, and he exhales a huge cloud of smoke. And as he does, he let's see here. He says something. And he does an action, and he casts heal.
Okay.
Nice.
Now, what are the...
Wow.
Okay.
It heals. If he does all 3, it's
The first heal.
Yeah, so go ahead and give us a... well, if you do all 3, it'll burst out and heal everyone. Is everyone... Oh, yeah, and actually...
Well, Werben is injured, too.
Yeah, no, good call. So give us a D8 roll.
Yeah.
That's how much it'll heal everybody. 4.
Me?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, nice.
So everyone
Wow.
gets 4 hit points back.
all right.
As you breathe in the sweet smoke.
Nice.
So, Jonathan, you said Zuko wants to go in front?
Yeah, Zuko will take the lead. At this point, we're surrounded by frogs in a magic layer, and there's really nothing to fear except for dying, and he has no control over that now, so he's just marching right in.
Okay.
Okay, so does he want to go at the top then, to the north,
Yeah, he'll
above Bargo?
going north. Yeah, he'll go that way.
Okay, perfect.
You guys cannot even see your feet at this point, too. The light is it's
Even me being short.
What's that?
I'm short. Can I see my feet?
You might be able to, which means you can't see the faces of your allies then.
It's okay, I can hear them shuffling.
Yeah, but you can see that you are sloshing through increasingly deep water as well too. It begins just up to the your feet or your ankles, and then it's soon for you, Zuko. It's like you're wading through water nearly up to your butt. For the rest of you guys, it's well up past your shin.
At least it's warm.
It is warm, yeah. It's like, in spite of the cold outside in the winter weather, it is warm. You think you may be traveling down this tunnel for maybe 10 minutes? And you can hear more the sound of frogs croaking off in the darkness. Or beyond the mist, I should say, for those of you who have dark vision. But then, as soon as unfortunately, because of the thickness of the fog, it obscures your vision anyway. But after a short time, after that time passes, and you all find yourself actually sweating and laboring to breathe, as you seem to suddenly step out, and you're standing in an enormous glittering grotto. And there is a single island in the middle of this grotto. And there are enormous lily pads floating around in here. But the lily pads are of bizarre vibrant colors. They're not like the green things that you would see in the swamps. They have pinks, and they have fuchsia, and they have blue. And on them there are glowing toads. And the glittering of the stalactites from the ceiling illuminate this in a... Yeah, I had to do the mental exercise, Arlen. I'm like, might hit you in the butt. Nope, not that one.
But I can see you pronounce the C particularly in stalactite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually unintentional. I would have said it wrong otherwise. Yeah, I was still thinking.
I thought you were being clever.
No, my train of thought was still at the boarding station, so it was going to be a while. And so what do you call it? What you see is on the center of this, sitting in a throne that seems to be made of living frogs. Where there is one enormous frog with its mouth open, its tongue lolling down in a disjointed kind of way. There is a humanoid form shrouded in rags with an enormous staff across its knees. And the hood leans forward. It seems maybe too lean and tall for human, but maybe it's just the bizarre kaleidoscopic lights that are shining down, twinkling. It seems that there's light everywhere, but still you seem unable to see much. The mist has cleared. You can hear the sound of rushing water. But this thing seems to wait. The island is littered with toads. Things small enough to be held on a finger, up to things the size of draft horses. They all seem to be watching you. And even perhaps a pale luminescence from their eyes. And you hear in your mind a woman's voice. What brings you to my lair? And what gifts do you offer the mother of toads? And with that, we will end our session.
Nice.
So,
Awesome.
for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us. Let's go. There's a shit ton of chat today. Holy smokes, guys. Let's see if we got any questions we need to address here. Yeah, Flame says, the witch was introduced in episode 13. We're finally getting to meet her. I think it was actually... she was introduced at some point in chapter 1. So it's been more than a year that she's been lurking as a name. And yeah, it has yet to be saved here. Let's see here.
But Flame is on it.
Flame is on it, yeah. Definitely. Well, and for triggering when it was introduced, too. Holy shit, yeah. Hero point for Flame, my god.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see here. Mode, thank you so much. That is very kind. Let's see here. Guest. Yeah, Steve-O's in there too. Steve's been fucking on top of the chat today too.
Oh, nice, Steve.
Yeah.
I like to please the fans.
Hell yeah. Flame just said, no, how could you leave it like that? Sorry, awesome. Flame. God, I am prone to my cliffhangers, so. So again, Flame, Mode, everyone else who joined us for the session tonight, thank you so much for joining us, guys. We hope you enjoyed session 20 of Chapter 2 of the Barrow Maze. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, or you just want to cast some kind words to our outstanding players, you can leave a comment in the comment section below. In addition, if you want to join us live, be sure to click on subscribe and the bell icon so you know when we're going live. You can also check the schedule for the channel on the community tab. I post that Sunday night for the coming week. And then if anything changes throughout the week, you can check there. It's very, very, very rare that it happens, but I did have last week. I had to cancel a session because I was traveling. In addition, you can also reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can also shoot me an email at dungeonmusings@gmail.com. And you can also join us on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, which you can find a link to in the description of this video. We have channels dedicated to every one of the games on the channel, including the Barrow Maze campaign. And then we've also got looking for group channels, so there's games that people are organizing on there as well. So if you want to play, you can do that. The monthly open table sessions that I run I organize that through the Discord channel as well. And in addition, if you just got questions about gaming or whatever else in general, you can find that on the Discord server as well. In addition, there's a link in the description of this video to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. Any donations that go through there go directly to benefit the SOS Children's Villages International Charity, which is a terrific charity you can learn all about by following that link. They're active in over 130 countries, and there's over 80,000 orphan and abandoned children who benefit from their services. It's a really terrific organization, and again, all donations go directly to their organization. None of it's eaten up by the channel, none of it's eaten up by the middlemen or anything like that. It just goes to help support the efforts to try and help those kids. There's some rewards that we've got on the thing as well too, including like introducing a character, which reminded me I've got a great NPC that I got to double check who it was, but someone donated to introduce a new NPC to the campaign, and I can't wait to do that when we get back to Helix. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. And what the donation gives you is you and I work together, and we come up with an NPC with a secret. So we have a secret that I plan to inflict on the players as well through this NPC. In addition, it's unfortunately all of them are gone for not 2019, but in 2020 we'll be kicking off again a new slate of charity sessions. You can make a donation to have myself or perhaps other DMs run a session for you. Your choice of game, who you can play with your friends, my friends, our friends, whatever. And then, of course, last, I don't want anyone to feel obligated to make the donation, but if you are inclined to toss any GP in the direction of the channel, I'd encourage you to click through the link and find what what SOS Children's Villages International does and the rewards we have on offer. Last but not least, I want to thank my players. So, Arlen, John, George, Steve, and welcome back, Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, guys, in spite of Jeff's terrible fucking rolls.
I know.
Oh, jeez.
What a joke.
It really welcomed you back. It's as if you never left.
Exactly.
So, guys, thank you so much for spending
It only
Friday
gets better.
Thanks so much for spending Friday night with me. This was a shit ton of fun. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
what happens with the Mother of Toads.
Yes.
Awesome. So, then, until next time. Did you have something to add there, Arlen?
XP?
Oh, yeah. What do you think? We're not just playing this for
No,
kicks?
Come on.
The
Menial DM trying to teach us
first
out of our
level
bones.
characters are desperate to get off. Let me get some more
That's
hit
right.
points.
A little bit more hit points. Yeah.
All right, so here, hit points. Not hit points. XP. All right. That, you also reach the Mother of Toads. So I think I'm going to give you 30 for that. So, guys, those of you who are 3rd level or higher, you gain 110 XP.
Nice.
Those of you who are 1st level, you gain 220 XP.
Nice.
So the Oberon and Angus, you guys are 220 XP. How close are you, John?
50.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. All right. So,
Next
inching
time.
closer.
Next time.
You know, my
Oh,
concern...
no.
Oh, that's so great. Then, of course, for those listening at home, for the players who joined me on Friday night, too, thank you so much, everybody. This was a lot of fun. This was a good night. And what a fucking cool map this was, eh?
Totally.
Yeah.
How dope is
Yeah, I
that
got to
look?
use my jump spell. That was great. I've been waiting forever for that.
And that was really, really cool seeing the decision, like playing a character like yours where you're great DPS, but you're also kind of the like great healer, too. It's cool seeing you having to balance those two things.
Yeah, and then the thing with Zuko, he's really good at burning stuff, but he chose to save lives rather than kill things, is why he had to run away.
Yeah.
Because he would, so that he's always going to prioritize healing over damage.
Definitely. Yeah, no, that's a smart
Cool.
move, too. More of you guys
Yeah.
up doing damage, the more likely you are. Plus, it does do, with these particular adversaries, it did do damage to them, too, so.
That's why I like
That's
fighting
true.
undead.
Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Staying
Cool.
away from them.
There'll
All
be
right,
more.
then. So, for those listening at home, again, thank you so much for joining us. The players, thanks for playing today. And, guys, until next time, happy gaming.